That's Uga, number 5, the Georgia Bulldog, who's looking for his first win against the Gators since taking over as the mascot in 1990 from Uga 4. And Georgia's not lost to Florida 3 straight years since the early 60s, as the Gators' margin of victory in 90 and 91 was 31 and 32 points, the largest for them in the history of the series. ABC Sports College Football. And the College Football Association, along with the Southeastern Conference, are proud to present the Bulldogs of Georgia against the Gators of the University of Florida. And hi, everybody. I'm Roger Twibel, and welcome to the 59th meeting between these two teams at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida. According to the University of Florida, this is the 70th meeting. According to the University of Georgia, this is the 71st meeting. The schools don't agree on very many things, and the head coaches Ray Goff and Steve Spurrier agree on even less. But one thing everybody agrees upon is the fact that Garrison Hearst is the front runner for the Heisman Trophy. And the Bulldogs have had some great running backs, and maybe none better than Herschel Walker in his Heisman Trophy winning year in 1982. Those were his numbers for the entire year, and look what Garrison Hearst has done so far in this 1992 season. And as I introduce my partner, Dick Vermeil, we have to keep in mind there have been some great running backs, Worley and Hampton at the University of Georgia. But the folks down south seem to feel that this young man might be the best of all of them.
Well, I agree with those people, Roger. You know, those other great running backs, I think each had a limitation or two. Garrison Hearst doesn't have a limitation. He runs inside with quickness and authority. He can take an outside play and cut it back and run it super up inside. He can catch the ball. He's a fine blocker, and he's such a good blocker. They use him as the fullback in spread punt formation.
What you're saying is, Dick, he's the whole package, huh?
He's got it all.
Meanwhile, the University of Florida came into this year ranked 4th by the AP, their highest preseason ranking ever. And Shane Mathis, their quarterback, was being touted as the Heisman Trophy candidate for the year. But they're 4-2, and they've struggled.
Well, they've struggled. They have a young offensive line. They start 2 true freshman tackles. At the start of the year, it was tough on the quarterback. The last 3 weeks, Shane Matthews has been given time to throw. You give him time to throw, he beats you.
And he has done that to Georgia the last 2 years with 7 touchdown passes and no interceptions. Folks, this is going to be a good one. Georgia, Florida, Gator Bowl, Jacksonville on Halloween. And we welcome you back here to Jacksonville as you take a look at the Blue Angels in town for an air show. And according to my aeronautical consultant Dick Vermeil, those are F-14s.
I misled you. I didn't have a clue.
Beautiful day here as you take a look at Todd Peterson, the kicker. Georgia won the toss, but they deferred. Florida will receive as Georgia will take the wind about 10 to 15 miles behind them. Harrison Houston, to the top of your screen, Larry Kennedy, the nearest man to you, number 3 for the University of Florida. As Peterson will tee it up from the near side hash mark. We are set to go. Short high kick. Bilkey, the up back, will take it at the 18-yard line, and he is tackled at the 25-yard line. Chad Wilson, number 19, on the stop. And now our diehard starting lineups. The Florida offensive line, those are true freshmen. Reggie Green and Jason Odom at the tackles. Eric Rett at full speed this week, the running back, the Southeastern Conference's leading rusher a year ago. And then the quarterback, Shane Matthews, 63 career touchdowns. Tommy Hodson has the conference record of 69. He will pass that this year. 1st and 10. Call it the 22-yard line. That's Keller, the tight end in motion as they give it to Rett. And let's set the defense for you. The Dogs from the University of Georgia. Greg Jackson is their top guy right there. As you take a look, he's got 72 tackles and 5 sacks on the year. The backer, Watch Davis, 66 tackles and 6 sacks. And the secondary looks like this. Greg Tremble was the Southeastern Conference Player of the Week last week. 78 tackles on the year and a couple of interceptions on 2nd and 4. Excuse me, 2nd and 9. Matthews all day. He's going up top. Man open downfield. Pulled in. The reception made by Willie Jackson, number 22, at the 31-yard line Chris Wilson, the senior from Macon, Georgia, was on the coverage, 41 yards on the reception.
They just used a play-action pass to freeze the linebackers underneath and go to the post, trying to hold the safety as well with the play action. To the right of your screen, Chris Wilson, number 16, was in position to make the play. He just didn't go for the ball at his highest point like the receiver did.
You believe it when I tell you that's the longest pass completion by Shane Matthews this year? 41 yards, 1st and 10. They give it to Rhett. Spins off one man. Rhett drives down to the 25-yard line. Charlie Clemens, number 48, the middle backer, made the stop. And Eric Rhett is a man who's been bothered by an ankle injury since the 2nd game of the year. They are 11-0 when he rushes for over 100 yards a game. I mentioned he was the top dog last year in the SEC.
Yes, he was. You know, I had a chance to visit with him, and we both did Thursday on the practice field, and he said he felt 100% if he could get through this ball game without re-injuring it. He felt he could go on through the rest of the year.
2nd and 3.
Clean.
Trips to the near side for the Gators. Matthews throws the sideline. The intended receiver was Willie Jackson. And that's one thing I think Shane Matthews does awfully well, making that decision if there's nothing there to get rid of the ball.
Yeah, and he doesn't take the sack that way. They're already in good field position, field goal distance already. They'd like to get it closer, of course. They'd like to score because they've done a pretty good job inside the 20.
There's their head coach, Steve Spurrier. Talked to him the other day, felt that the defense of the University of Georgia, 2nd rated in the nation as far as pass defense, just hadn't seen a quarterback or a passing offense the caliber of Shane Matthews and the Florida Gators, as on 3rd and 3. Rhett, the lone back, as he releases up the middle, and he finds him. That's going to be a 1st down inside the 20. 48, Charlie Clemens, and that's a cute little play that Florida likes to run with that one-back set.
Well, you know, as Coach Goff said, they know that Florida's going to make some plays, but they have to keep those big plays in front of them. They've already given them that one long pass, as you've already said. That's what they cannot allow to happen if they're going to win the football game today.
Trips will go to the far side on 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Matthews, one more time. Willie Jackson, 27 receptions coming into the game this year. Al Jackson, the man on the coverage, as we've got a score for you that's going to surprise some folks. As South Carolina leads Tennessee 24-17 in the 4th quarter.
Well, they've won 2 in a row, have they not?
Yes, they have, ever since that
quarterback
slight uprising there. Well, if South Carolina beats Tennessee, it's going to really have some interesting ramifications in the Southeastern Conference. On 2nd and 5 from the 15. Trips to the near side as they'll run it to Rhett up the middle. And he is down close to a 1st down at the 10-yard line. Casey Barnum, 90, the nose tackle, is there to make the stop. And this is a young offensive line for the University of Florida.
Well, as we said in the open, both offensive tackles are true freshmen. And Eric Rhett there adjusting his shoelaces. He's wearing a plastic cast, and he says it doesn't bother him at all. That's not the foot that's injured. But Florida has been very efficient inside the 20-yard line. They've been down here 18 times this year and come out with 11 touchdowns and 3 field goals. That's pretty efficient offense down here.
3rd and 1 at the 11, the 8th play of this drive for the University of Florida. And they'll pitch it back to Rhett inside the 10. He has got the 1st down. Eric Rhett averaging just under 4 yards a carry this year.
You can see they're using a motion man, tossing the ball deep, allowing him to get his shoulder square, turn up, and find that crack. He finds the crack. They make the 1st down.
Eric Rhett's a 6-foot, 211-pound junior from Pembroke Pines, Florida. That's just north of Miami and west of the Fort Lauderdale area. 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. 10th play of the drive. They'll go to Rhett on the draw, inside the 5, down to the 4-yard line.
See, they force you to think pass, 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 and then their #1 run is the draw. Offensive linemen set to show pass. They block the draw. Tough on the defensive linemen.
They call it the fun and gun offense, but it isn't if you don't have that fun, gun, and run. And, Dick, since 1990, they've run over 2,100 offensive plays, and believe it or not, they have run more running plays than passing plays.
Well, they came into this ball game 53% pass, 47% run. Pretty good balance.
On this year, 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. That's Randolph, the motion man, as they give it to Rhett. Good play
defense.
right there. Number 16, Chris Wilson, came up from his cornerback spot, the senior from Mason. making Georgia to make the stop.
Chris Wilson was a free safety last year. You'll see him to the left side of your screen. Man in motion. They ran that for the short yardage play. They get the pull there by Swain, number 52. He turns him back inside, makes the play himself. Good job by Chris Wilson.
Third down and goal from the 4-yard line. Last week against Louisville, Florida was successful on 10 third down situations. And Matthews wants a timeout with 10:23 to go first quarter and a 3rd and goal at the 4-yard line. No score from the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida.
Fourth-ranked Alabama puts their perfect record on the line when they invade LSU to tackle the Tigers, or other key regional action next Saturday on ABC's College Football.
Welcome back here to the Gator Bowl. In the background there is the Matthews Bridge, and I don't know if they named it after Shane Matthews, but he's won the last 2 years here against the University of Georgia. On a 3rd and goal from the 4, Dick, what are you looking for here?
I look for the quarterback draw. If they don't run the quarterback draw from this, they'll try to hit the tight end. So you see they have 2 tight end positions there, and they seam throw these guys down there.
Matthews.
See, there it is.
A lot of contact, incomplete. The intended receiver was Willie Jackson.
No back attack. Receivers all spread out. 2 guys, and they run them down the seams, and that's exactly what they tried to do here. As I see him right here, they wanted to hit him in the seam. They bring him in this seam. They tried to get him to the back of the end zone. Didn't get it. See, no back in the backfield. They keep that all linemen in, just lay it up there quickly. Almost couldn't get it done.
Trimble was on the coverage. Bart Edmiston, the true freshman from Pensacola, will attempt the field goal. 21-yard attempt. He's 2 of 5 from that distance on the season. They've had some problems in this area. That kick is up, and it's good. The Gators have jumped out to a 3-0 lead over the University of Georgia on this 21-yard field goal by Edmiston. Well, under Steve Spurrier, the Gators are 17-1 when they score first. And with that in mind, let's go down to Julie Moran. Julie?
Happy Halloween, Roger.
Same to you.
Well, in all seriousness, this is the first time that Georgia and Florida have played on Halloween. Why? Because there are 2 new teams in the SEC, and there's an SEC playoff game. So all the schedules were realigned, causing this game to fall on Halloween, but also coinciding with the Greater Jacksonville Fair. So we've got 82,000 fans in the stadium. We've got 120 over at the fair for a total of 202,000 people all in this parking area. So I think the best seat after this game is on the Ferris wheel, because traffic is going to be going around in circles after this one.
Okay, Julie, thanks a lot. We're not in a hurry to leave here tonight, folks. We're just going to take our time. Ryan Rulin is going to kick it off for Florida. He's a junior from Altamont Springs, and back deep, Andre Hastings, number 1, and Garrison Hurst, number 5, to the top of your screen. Hurst told me yesterday, I asked him, he's made so many big plays this year, Dick. I said, what else? He said, I want to bust a kickoff.
Well, he hasn't been back there very much. They want to get him back there now and just add to those all-purpose yards. But, Spurrier, when his team, since he's been at Florida, has scored first, he has 17 wins, 1 loss.
Good deep kick right there. That's into the wind. Beautiful kick. And the Bulldogs will set up with their diehard starting lineup looking like this. Williams, the big 6'9" left tackle up front. Millens, a veteran player. He's a good one, too. Andre Hastings and Eric Zeier hooked up for 10 touchdown passes in their careers, 5 this year. And there's a look at Zeier. 16 touchdowns, 12 interceptions so far in the career. Very poised young man, just a sophomore, out of Marietta, Georgia. 1st and 10, 20-yard line. Frank Harvey, number 7, getting the start in place of the injured Max Strong. And that is the man we just talked about, Frank Harvey.
They aren't going to catch him.
He will go all the way.
The key block on that play.
80 yards on that touchdown run. His long gain this season had been 19. The junior from Dawson, Georgia, Not bad filling in, huh?
He's not a great blocker, but he is a good runner. Good blocking at the point of attack here. You see the big tackle right there. Bernard Williams getting a nice turnout block. Now he cuts back, lifts those legs up, and off he goes. 5,200 yards as a high school runner. Here he makes the long one as a college runner.
And the point after by Peterson is good.
Look at him. My gosh, he showed that 100-meter speed right there. Conference champion. Good leg action getting through the intense area right here. He gets a block right there. Then he uses his mobility. Now watch him lift those legs through the traffic right there. Now he turns that big 240-pound body out, and he couldn't catch him.
That was a Garrison Hearst-like move. And Dick, let the big dog eat on trick or treat. 80 yards. What a way to start for Frank Harvey. His second touchdown of the year. Yeah, give him a rest.
Give him a rest. He's only carried the ball 30 times coming into this. The longest game was 19 yards.
That's the 9th longest run in Georgia football history. And I got to tell you, Dick, we sat there last night with Ray Goff, and he was more than a little concerned about that position in today's game.
Oh, he was, because when you take Max Strong out of there to the normal starting fullback, he's an outstanding blocker, and that's not one of Harvey's attributes. Obviously, he runs the ball pretty well.
Back deep, Kennedy is number 3, and Harrison Houston, number 84. Todd Peterson to kick it off. Another short kick, and Houston is going to take it at the 15. Houston across the 30 to the 34-yard line. Brought down by Maurice Harrell, number 49. Georgia used the big play. They lead it 7-3. We've got 9:55 to go. First quarter. A lot of good games going on in college football today. And, of course, another game that's being played here regionally on ABC. Stanford leads Washington early 7-0. You know Bill Walsh is going to score some points today. It's a question whether his defense can stop the Huskies.
Bill Walsh's offenses will normally score points early in the ball game because that's when his game plan is new to the defense. And when he has to just settle in and play regular football, other teams have been catching him.
Play action on 1st and 10, and Rhett drops the football. Rhett drops the football, and he is one of the most sure-handed receivers that the Florida Gators have. He came into this game with 23 receptions, and he is on track to break the career receiving record of John L. Williams for running backs at the University of Florida. So that's a very unusual play for that young man. And look at BYU, third-string quarterback Ryan Hancock with a couple of touchdown passes there. And Carolina still leading in the fourth quarter. 2nd and 10, 34-yard line. Matthews 3 of 6 for 50 yards. That was deflected at the line of scrimmage.
Good job.
Greg Jackson might have been the man, number 54. This Georgia defense, Dick's got 20 sacks so far this year.
Well, they do a pretty good job of getting after him, and they were concerned about being too aggressive in their pass rush today because of the number of draw plays. To the left of your screen, you'll see number 54. That's Jackson. Now, he's coached by the defensive people. When the quarterback cocks his arm to you too, cock your arm. He did it. That's the 5th time he's batted a ball.
3rd down and 10. Florida's 2 of 3 in 3rd down situations. Matthews finds his tight end over on the far side, Charlie Dean. It's going to be just short of a first down. Randall Godfrey, the true freshman, number 42 from Valdosta, Georgia, who has played big this year but is hampered by a little bit of a bad knee this week.
Well, right now you'll see there's to the right side of your screen, there's tight coverage on him, and he didn't work upfield far enough to get that first down. One reason there was a defender beyond the first down stripe and somebody right inside him covering him. Tough to get the first down.
That's just his 2nd reception this year, and Dick, it looks like Florida is going to go for it on 4th and less than a yard at the 43-yard line.
I wouldn't do it. I don't have that kind of guts this early in the ball game in that field position. But they have been pretty good at 4th down conversion. 9 of 10 times successful. A lot of confidence.
They moved. Right tackle moved that time. Jason Odom, 74.
Jason Odoms is the true freshman offensive tackle from Bartow, Florida, Bartow High School. An outstanding student in high school, so smart enough to remember the snap count. just a little nervous.
6'5", 283.
Before the ball snap, movement by an offensive lineman, 5 yards, still 4th down.
He didn't like the coach's call either.
Shane Edge is in to punt. He was 4th in the nation last year, and Tennessee just scored. Phillips a 40-yard touchdown reception. So Edge back inside his 25, and Andre Hastings, a junior from Morrow, Georgia, standing inside his 20.
Shane Edge is a darn good punter.
41.6 this year. That's 4th in the Southeastern Conference.
That's a low tight punt. Normally you get a good return with that kind of ball.
Hastings across the 35, and a penalty marker's down. Across the 35-yard line, number 36 came down to make the stop, Kevin Freeman. We've got a penalty.
During the run back, a push in the back by the receiving team, 10 yards from the spot. 1st down.
I want to remind you, coming up on ABC Sports Monday night, it's the Soldier Field in Chicago for a classic NFC Central matchup. Jim Harbaugh and the Bears hope to avenge last month's loss to the division-leading Minnesota Vikings. That's live at 9 Eastern on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football. Dennis Green's done a great job there.
He really has. You know, we both saw him in the preseason, and they were really impressive at that time.
Bohannon in motion, 1st and 10, 24-yard line for Georgia, and that is Garrison Hurst, and he is brought down. Beautiful play by Monty Groh, the Gator back.
Wayne McDuffie, the offensive coordinator for Georgia, told me one of his big concerns was the pursuit, the speed of the defensive team. They're in an unbalanced line to the right side of your screen. They're going to toss the ball deep. Now you can see the pursuit coming inside out there. No place to turn upfield. There's Monty Groh, number 10, doing a heck of a job.
Loss of 3 yards on the play. 2nd down and 13 out of the I formation. 7:53 to go, 1st quarter. That movement right there. Right side of the line. Steve Roberts, they like to flip-flop a lot on that Georgia front.
They do. They play a strong side, weak side offensive line.
Before the ball was snapped, movement by an offensive lineman, 5 yards, still 2nd down.
That's Dalton, a sophomore from Roberts, a sophomore from Dalton, Georgia.
Here he is right there, the big offensive guard, Steve Roberts. He lifted just a little early. Both teams a little bit maybe too excited. Got to calm down, concentrate on the snap count.
2nd down and 18. Ball at the 26-yard line. Sire going downfield. Nearly picked off, and what a terrific play by Larry Kennedy, the sophomore from Sarasota. There's a penalty marker down, but Kennedy nearly had the interception. The intended receiver was Andre Hastings.
I don't know what the penalty is, but Larry Kennedy did a real nice job of falling off from the corner position, playing zone, and dropping back in to make that play. Real nice job. Let's see what they've called.
Defensive pass interference, 15-yard penalty, scrimmage, 1st down.
Oh, look at Spurrier.
Here it is down to the left side of your screen. Now, right now, we cannot see any pass interference. Oh, right there. He shoved him in the back. That's not a catchable ball, though. That is not a catchable ball.
That was Will White, number 2.
You'll see the safety appear to the right side of the screen. Here he is. Now, freeze it right there. You'll see that contact was made between these two people.
Well, that'll give Georgia 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Garrison Hurst. And not much as he gets across the 30. Right now, let's go to New York and John Saunders.
Roger, South Carolina has yet to lose since their player revolt here. Heath Schuler to James Stewart. This is an attempt for a 2-point conversion. Johnny Majors loses by 1. 24-23, Roger.
Oh, and Dick, big ramifications here in the Southeastern Conference. If they're the standings, if Georgia can win today, they wrap up the East. Woo. Man. 2nd down and 9. Pitch back, Garrison Hurst. What a good job they're doing right now. Kevin Carter, 57. Those outside men are really staying tight.
They're kicking him back forcing him back right now, and then the pursuit is maintaining discipline, and that they're not overrunning him. A lot of defensive teams overrun him, and then he makes that cutback in those lanes created by someone overrunning. Good discipline by Ron Zook, the defensive coordinator's defense.
3rd down and 9, and the Gator defense have held opponents to 29% success ratio on 3rd down situations. They were best in the Southeastern Conference in that statistic a year ago. From the 32-yard line, play action by Eric Zier, and he comes near side and incomplete. The intended receiver was Shannon Mitchell, his tight end, and Larry Kennedy, number 3, the sophomore from Sarasota. This is a veteran secondary, all 4 starters back from a year ago.
Well, he wanted to go downfield into the zone coverage down in there, but the zone coverage took the pattern away. He threw it to the guy that was actually an alternate receiver stretching the defense horizontally. Couldn't get it to him.
That's Scott Armstrong, 81, the junior, and back deep, Monty Duncan. A lot of pressure, it's blocked. Larry Kennedy, number 3, who just made the good defensive play, comes in to get a piece of it. That is the first block punt for Florida this year.
Boy, normally when you get a punt block, here he is right here. He gets it right shot. The fullback should have picked him up. See, he didn't see him. Garrison Hearst didn't see him to the left of him. You see now he gets a nice right on it, dives out in front of it, just like he's coached to do, out in front of the punter. You get a punt block, you normally lose the football game.
1st and 10, 39-yard line for the Gators. Matthews, outside, inside the 30. Harrison Houston, number 84, the junior from Pensacola, with his 19th reception of the year, 12 yards on the pick up, and that's what Shane Matthews can do, Dick. He's a very patient guy. He's not looking for the home run on every toss.
Well, their whole game plan in talking to Spurrier is to try to keep Georgia off the field with a ball control passing game, screens and draws.
1st and 10. 27-yard line. See the Gators' top 3 receivers average a touchdown every 5th catch. Matthews has also hit 17 different receivers on the year as Eric Rett had nowhere to go. Casey Barnum, the junior from Jacksonville, the nose guard, number 90, was right there to stop him.
As you said, the Jacksonville nose guard right here. He's right on the center's nose. He stunts around. The guard doesn't pick him up properly. He meets him head-to-head, helmet to helmet. Good pursuit by the rest of the people. No gain.
Look at Barnum, 6'3", 265. Not a real big defensive front there for the University of Georgia, but very quick, very active. On 2nd and 10 from the 27. Georgia leads at 7-3. Matthews, some outside pressure, hangs tough in the pocket. Rhett, good move, penalty marker down inside the 20, down to the 17-yard line. Might be a face mask there. Greg Trimble, 24, was the guy that finally got him.
You know, when you go zone coverage and drop people back, and then they release the running back out of the backfield like that, it really is tough on those defenders.
Face mask, 5-yard penalty against the defense. Added on to the end of the run. 1st down.
Looked like Charlie Clemens, number 48, was the man that got the face mask as Trimble finally made the tackle.
You'll see to the left side of your screen right now. He makes the catch. Eric Rett comes in right. He's got the ball underneath. Now, there's the face mask grab right there. Here it is. Obvious, right in the center of your screen. He's got him with his right hand. He runs out of that tackle.
I think Rett gave him a little face mask back myself.
That's how I thought they called it originally.
1st and 10, 13-yard line. 4:45 to go. 1st quarter. Matthews, he's got it wide open if he wants to run with it. Matthews will step it out inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. Shane Matthews with 1 rushing touchdown, but he's a very smart quarterback. He's not going to take on those big safeties.
There are some quarterbacks you don't want to flush and scramble around. Shane Matthews, actually, you don't mind if he runs around and scrambles. Of course, there should be a man in this position to contain him and keep him inside. He is not known for his running ability.
38 carries, he's lost 108 yards. I mean, when he's
like
running, yeah, I know, he's running for his life. 2nd and goal from the 1. Rhett off the right side.
Good linebacker play right there by Randall Godfrey, number 42. And he, too, is just a true freshman. but he made a great play in last week's ball game and watching the tape where he just scraped off properly inside out on the ball carrier and planted him in the backfield just like he did that time. Nice job, Randall Godfrey.
Florida is now faced with a 3rd down and 1. Let's call it less than a yard, actually, at the 4-yard line.
I would think in terms of 2 downs for the first down here and not go for the touchdown on one play.
See the red zone? They scored 15 of the 19 times inside the 20.
And most of those are touchdowns.
Matthews with the sneak. Good call there. He got it.
Yep.
Got the first down. Matthews 6'3 and a half, 6'4", 194 pounds from Pascagoula, Mississippi. Interesting true freshman as far as the Florida Gators. They've played as many as 10 this year, but these guys, Green and Church and Odom, Barnard, Edmiston and Daniels, really see a lot of action. And then Godfrey for Georgia. If you go back, Dick, for the University of Georgia to 1990, they had 12 true freshmen who saw action, including 6 who started. In '89, 12 true freshmen who played and 6 who started. So Ray Goff got a lot of young players in there a couple of years ago. Steve Spurrier's doing it now, and I think the thing is, with the way players are going to the NFL, you're just not going to see that many red shirts anymore.
They're going to have to play him, especially the obviously gifted kid, the guy that's almost ready to play, and maybe he's going to rotate between being a starter and sometimes start, sometimes not start. You're going to play that guy.
7th play of this drive. Kelvin Randolph, number 30, is the up back. At 1st and goal, and that's Randolph who'll go in motion. They give it to Rhett. Cuts it back inside. He stops short. Barnum once again, number 90. It took a long time for that play to develop down near the goal line.
They like to use motion in there to soften the corner and then try to run up behind them. But the good penetration inside there by Barnum, he couldn't get to that corner cleanly. This is a good time to come with a play-action pass. And Spurrier has a number of goal-line dinkum-type passes that are tough to defend down there, especially because the defensive kids get so intense and excited about trying to stop the run.
2:40 to go first quarter, 2nd and goal, still on the 1. Matthews checking off at the line of scrimmage. He'll pitch it back to Rhett. Can he get the corner? He does. Eric Rhett, his 5th rushing touchdown of the year.
He got a key block outside wide from the wide receiver in the position. And, you know, they just toss it to him, and he just went ahead and took it to the flag. No, you'll see a key block outside by the fullback right there.
Randolph.
Right there in the end zone. He got the knockdown block. Now just power puts it into the end zone.
Edmiston is perfect on the year, 18 of 18 in extra points. And he'll try to put Florida up. And it's blocked. But it got over. Get lucky now.
It's Halloween, isn't it?
Woo! Oh, man. 2:27 to go first quarter. Gators lead the Dogs 10-7. Watch the big man in the middle there, Dick. Bernard Williams. He's 6'9", and he gets up there.
He's an offensive lineman, and you'll see he is the guy in on defense. See him reach right there in the middle of the screen right there. He gets up there, and he does tip the ball, but the ball remains straight down the middle, hits the goalpost, and flops in.
Well, the Florida player is very confident on the bench. We heard him say they just can't stop us. They've gotten the ball. They have done some damage as Ryan Rulin gets set to kick it off for the Gators, and Garrison Hurst, Andre Hastings back deep for Georgia. 2:27 to go first quarter. And Andre Hastings at the 5. Ooh. To the outside. And finally, at the 25-yard line, Andre Hastings goes down. At the conclusion of today's game, we'll be selecting a Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the Game from each team. And for the 22nd year, through the Chevrolet Scholarship Program, $1,000 will be donated to the General Scholarship Fund of each school. That's coming up later today. Dick and I will put our heads together. We're going to have some decisions to make, I think, before today's over.
There's a lot of things going to happen in this ball game before that end of the fourth quarter.
1st and 10, 26-yard line. Florida leads Georgia 10-7. Evans was a motion man, and That's number 7, Frank Harvey. He doesn't go as far on this run as he did on his first run. Ben Hanks, number 11, a freshman from Miami. Pretty good story there. Steve Spurrier took his jersey out of retirement and gave it to this kid.
You'll see it right here, number 11 at the bottom of your screen. So they're tossing the ball. Good inside-out pursuit right there by Martin, number 57, Carter. Rather, see, he can't turn back. He keeps the ball going right in the direction they want it to go, toward the sideline.
2nd and 10. Split backs. Bohannon to the near side. Zier down the middle to Hurst, and he's immediately grabbed. Carlton Miles, a senior inside linebacker from Daytona Beach, makes a stop. And let's go to John Saunders in New York. John?
Roger, here's one of the longer 3-yard touchdown passes you'll ever see. Brunell is chased around. He's at his 15, back to his 20, almost back to the 25. Finds Leif Johnson wide open in the end zone. That ties the game 7-7. Roger.
Thank you, John. 3rd down and 3 from the 33-yard line. Just over a minute to go, first quarter. Zier coming near side. His receiver down there slipped. That was Brian Bohannon. And Miles and Kennedy were on the coverage, but Bohannon had slipped and wasn't able to make the catch.
Just a straight drop back pass. You'll see to the bottom of your screen, here's Miles, number 31, working inside out on zone coverage. He gets there, but you saw the receiver, Bohannon, slip and fall.
And Kennedy had a chance to intercept that. As Scott Armstrong, whose first punt was blocked, and his last in the SEC in gross punting, will kick it down to Monty Duncan. That's a nice kick this time. Duncan is hit immediately at the 27-yard line. 31 was down there. Drew David, a backup strong safety, to make the tackle. And with 49 seconds to go, first quarter, this is a very confident Florida offense. And boy, Michigan just escaped from Purdue today.
You know, Richard Bell, the defensive coordinator for Georgia, said his number 1 concern was their great balance, but he wanted to take away the running game so they could really concentrate on defending the pass. So far, they've mixed it up nicely, both run and pass.
Once again, South Carolina beat Tennessee. Sparky Woods, his 100th game as a head coach. Used to be an assistant at Tennessee. Must have been a very sweet win for him. 1st and 10, 28-yard line. Pitch back now. They're going to throw it back to Matthews, who sends it downfield, incomplete. They pitched it to Tony Davis, who tossed it back to Shane Matthews, and the intended seer, Trey Everett, couldn't get it.
See, they toss it to him quickly so he can get the ball tucked under his arm. You'll see it right now. He reverse pivot, tosses it to him. It looks run all the way. Now he stops. He didn't take the ball in the run far enough. He didn't sell it so the corners would come up and play run. That ball could have been intercepted.
Tremble and Wilson were back there. You see the Georgia secondary. That's a misleading statistic, though, Dick, as their coaches admit, because they played 4 option teams in a row.
That's right.
2nd and 10 from the 28-yard line. Slant inside, and right there is Willie Jackson, the junior from Gainesville. Last year, he had a big game against Georgia. 7 receptions and 3 touchdowns. 13 yards on that pickup.
You know what he did a nice job of? He saw the coverage. He saw them playing zone. He went on the inside move, and he settled down and just slowed down in there and didn't run out of the zone and cover himself.
Jackson, 6'2", 199. That's a first down. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Charlie Dean is the tight end. He's split to the far side as they'll give it to Eric Rhett. Spins to the 45-yard line. Gain of about 4 on the play. Damon Ward, number 53, in on the tackle. Rhett told us in practice the other day he came over to make sure that we knew that he was going to be all right. And if he felt that he had a good game today, he said, look out for me the rest of the year. I'm ready to start running again. Florida leads Georgia 10-7. And we'll be back with the second quarter right after this. Welcome back to the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida, in the 59th time these two teams have played here in Jacksonville. 82,000 on hand today. 10-7, Florida leads it. As Shane Matthews has a 2nd and 6 from the 45-yard line. In motion is Jack Jackson to the far side. And that's where Matthews throws it. And turning it back inside is Willie Jackson as he gets the first down across the 50 to the 47-yard line as we take a look at those statistics, Dick, from the first quarter.
Well, Florida has dominated the numbers, and look at time and possession. Hey, 6 minutes more holding the football. Rushing yards for Georgia, 78. Remember, they got 80 of them on one play. Give it all to Florida in the first quarter.
And last year, Florida's offense racked up 513 yards in total offense against the Bulldogs in their 45-13 win. 129 in the first quarter of this game as Jack Jackson comes back in motion to the near side on 1st and 10 as they draw it right up the middle to Eric Rhett. Randall Godfrey, the true freshman, and Damon Ward, a sophomore from Memphis, Tennessee. Is check out the Southeastern Conference today. See what's happening there. Well, Arkansas and Auburn, that game is tied up at 21. That's the first ever meeting between those two teams outside of a bowl game. South Carolina, the upset over Tennessee. LSU and Ole Miss tonight, along with Mississippi State and Kentucky. 2nd down and 7 from the 43. Bilkey is in at fullback for the Gators. Matthews, all sorts of time. He's got his tight end on the far side. That's Charlie Dean. He's a 6'2", 240-pound junior from Inverness. Came into the game with just 1 reception. Rushing, their top tight end is out.
Here he is right here. They're going to run play action and running underneath. See, as the play action freezes the linebackers, and then they buzz out of there. Now watch, they'll freeze the linebackers. See, they'll step, play, run, and then they get out of there. See him buzz out of there? No one on the tight end. There it is. First down, move the chains.
1st and 10, 35-yard line, trips to the near side. Eric Rhett, the lone setback. Just underway, 2nd quarter. Matthews wanted to go short. Now he's going to run it to the side, and he gets out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Casey Barnum chased him out after a gain of about 3.
That's the one disadvantage of rolling out as a quarterback. You lose the ability to throw and attack the whole field. They were attacking a specific area to the right there, to the defensive left. It was covered. He had no place to go, so he goes ahead and gets it out of bounds.
Steve Spurrier, we talked about some of the marks he's got. He's been terrific, of course, at Florida Field and in the state of Florida. 19-1 in the state of Florida as you look at what Zaire and Matthews have done so far today. 2nd and 7 from the 32-yard line. Matthews dumps it to Eric Rhett. And he'll get down to the 25-yard line. Randall Godfrey makes a tackle. And we talked a little bit at the top, Dick, about the problems that Shane Matthews had early in the year. Young offensive line, the running game not as effective as they would like.
And here he is now. You can see in the last 3 ball games, offensive tackles getting better, good protection. Eric Rhett not 100%, yes, 100% today. If you can both run and pass with an offense as designed like Spurrier does it, gives the college defense a pain in the neck.
On a 3rd and less than 1. Call it the 26-yard line. Everett, the motion man. We're going to throw it. Matthews overthrows his intended receiver, 89, Greg Keller. And Randall Godfrey was the man putting the pressure on Shane Matthews that time.
You know, they had pressure on him with the linebacker, as you said, Roger. 42 to the right side of your screen. Godfrey gets in there. See, the running back, Eric Rhett, checked down, but he couldn't throw it to him because he was pressured. Boy, it's good defensive call by the defensive coordinator, Richard Bell.
2nd time they've gone for it on 4th down. The time before the penalty killed it. This is 4th and less than a yard at the 26-yard line. Randolph is the up back. Eric Rhett, number 33, the deep back, and he'll get the pitch. He's got a blocker or 2 in front. He has got the first down. He's inside the 25 to the 22-yard line. Damon Ward made the tackle, but it was his up man there, Kelvin Randolph, number 30. The fullbacks don't run with it in this offense. They block for him.
The good tight end block right here. He goes out and he gets the blocker. And now watch him right now as he gets, see, he's got him hooked right now. You can't be hooked when you play that position. He didn't allow penetration, allowed him to get the yardage. Good job by Greg Keller.
Florida's converted 11 of 12 4th down opportunities this year. And they've got it 1st and 10 at the 22. Trips to the near side. They'll draw it up the middle. That's Kedra Malone, a sophomore from Niceville who has just checked into the game. 5'8", 176, a sophomore. But Carlo Butler, 28, and Damon Ward, 53, stopped him after a pickup of about 5.
Georgia does not like to play man-to-man coverage. Maybe only 10 snaps this whole year of man coverage, so they don't blitz very much. But if they are going to blitz, they might as well come after them down here where you don't have much area to defend.
2nd down and 4 at the 16-yard line. Malone, the lone setback. He'll get it. Malone running hard, penalty marker down as Malone gets inside the 10, down to the 7-yard line. A penalty marker down.
I think they called clipping by Jack Jackson, the wide receiver out there. He got a knockdown block, but he might have hit the guy right from behind. Let's see what they call. There's little Jack Jackson, 5'9". He didn't want to hit him right in the face, that's for sure.
Illegal block below the waist by the offense. 15 yards from the spot of the foul, the line of scrimmage. Still 2nd down.
Oh, well, it's almost had the visor for the 2nd time today. You know, Florida's been penalized the most of any team in the Southeastern Conference.
Here it is, right here. Freeze it right there, please. You'll see the block right there. That looks like a legal block to me if that's the one they're calling. I understand why you're mad, Steve.
Yeah. Make it 2nd and 15 from the 27-yard line. Vermeil used to get mad like that too, until we got him in the booth.
That's why he stayed here too.
Now Shane Matthews going to check off.
Watch for him to go deep to the top of the screen. Let's see what he does it.
The tight end is open. Yeah. Had his tight end there. That's Dean, number 86, and Chris Wilson made the tackle. Dick, you're absolutely right. 18 yards on the pickup.
He got up there. He saw the defense overshifted toward the wide receivers to the right side of his formation. He liked what he saw to his left. You see him audibling now. Audible, he gives a signal, he audibles, he gives a signal, making sure they hear it. Then he sends under, and he goes ahead and carries out the plan. He saw the coverage rotated over to his right. You'll see what I'm talking about now. See, he has a one-on-one situation and a deep hole right in here. So his coverage all here to the right side of your screen. He sees that right now. Boom. Good game plan by Steve Spurrier. Those things do not happen by accident.
Oh, there's a Georgia player injured on the field. That's 16, Chris Wilson, senior from Macon. And he was a man that made the tackle. And Washington right now leading Stanford in the 2nd quarter, 14-7. And A&M on top of SMU, 21-7 at halftime.
Chris Wilson has been a very steady football player for Richard Bell's defense at all year. 33 tackles coming into the ball game. And, you know, he was a free safety in 90, and he moved to cornerback last year and started 8 times.
1st and 10, just outside the 10-yard line. Already 12 plays on this drive as Matthews tries to send it to the corner. Willie Jackson, the intended receiver. Carlo Butler, 28, was the man coming from his outside backer spot to put the pressure that time on Shane Matthews.
You know, the offensive line, we saw them early in the year, Roger, and those 2 tackles, Reggie Green and Jason Odom, 2 big 290-pound and 300-pound tackles, true freshmen, are doing a nice job of pass protecting.
That ball is actually sitting inside the 10-yard line, so that should be 2nd and goal there.
It is sitting inside.
Yeah. The scoreboard has it incorrect. Let's call it 2nd and goal. Inside the 10. Rhett's the lone setback. Matthews in the slant. Touchdown! Jackson. That was Pascagoula, Mississippi to Moss Point, Mississippi, folks. Second touchdown reception of the year. Matthews has hit 17 different receivers this year.
They were in a coverage that allowed the receiver Jackson to read it and then break back inside. No one on him here, see? Nobody on him. No one picking him up as he broke back to the inside. I think the corner felt he was going to have help to the inside. He didn't get it. Jackson scores.
Edmiston to attempt the point after. Not a good snap, but he gets no good. Snap was not good that time. Shane Edge, the holder, got it down there, but the extra point is missed. The first this year by Bart Edmiston. 16-7, Florida.
What's up, baby?
Well, Jack Jackson, happy guy, second touchdown reception of the year. And for,
you know, Jack Jackson came here as an outstanding student, listed among the top high school students in the country coming to Florida.
Ruland to kick it off.
Boy, he bangs it, doesn't he?
Andre Hastings just going to let it go over his head. And let's go down to Julie Moran. Julie?
Well, Roger, I'm here with the president and CEO of Atlanta Olympic Committee, Billy Payne, but he's also a former Georgia Bulldog, and I'm sure you have some vivid memories of this Georgia-Florida rivalry.
It's a great series, Julie, one of college football's best, and I played 3 times here in this very stadium, and we beat Florida twice, and they stole one from us one year.
What kind of player was Steve Spurrier? I know you played against him.
He's a great player, Heisman Trophy winner in '66. We were the only team to beat him that year. Great game here in the Gator Bowl.
Billy, of all the cities that could have gotten the Olympics, why do you think they chose Atlanta?
I think the friendliness of the people, the belief that in the United States we could celebrate the 100th anniversary with great dignity and care.
Thanks for stopping by, Billy. Back up to you, Roger.
Okay, thank you very much, Julie. Billy Payne. That was Kevin Carter, number 57, the sophomore from Tallahassee. We told you at the top to keep an eye on this guy. 6'4", 254-pound sophomore.
I had a chance to visit with him on the practice field the other day. See, now quarterback has plenty of time to throw. He could have gotten rid of it. Coverage takes it away. And here comes Martin, or Carter, rather. You know, well, I'll pass on the story as we get through the ball game. We don't have time now.
8-yard loss on that sack. 2nd and 18. The ball back at the 12-yard line for Georgia. Sire has that deflected at the line of scrimmage. Looked like Big Bill Gunner, 93, 6'5", senior from Bradenton.
It
got
was
his
Bill
hands
Gunner
up there.
You know, and again, that's a sign of good defensive coaching by the defensive line coach, because they always drill it. When that quarterback cocks to throw the arm and you know you're not going to get there, you get your hands up. That's happened twice today, and they've knocked down 2 balls.
I'll tell you that Gator defense lost a lot of players last year, had some injury problems. Last in the SEC in sacks coming into this game, 7 sacks in 6 games. They put some pressure on Zaire, who's 1 of 4 passing as he faces a 3rd down and 18 from the 12-yard line. And he just tries to fling it out there in the direction of Frank Harvey, who wasn't even close to it. And this Florida defense has really started to gel, Dick, in the last 3 or 4 games, both against the run and the pass, and they're playing awfully strong right now.
Well, Ron Zook, the defensive coordinator, and his staff, they do a real good job, and he's been disappointed in his defense. As you said, Roger, young and immature, but they have matured. The one thing they'll be under Ron Zook is they'll be intense.
Scott Armstrong back in his own end zone. Pressure gets it away as Monty Duncan will take it at the 48. Inside the 40. 39-yard line, and the Gators will have great field position. Carlo Butler came down to make the tackle with 10:08 to go, first half. Florida leads Georgia 16-7. Well, let's take you back a few years in this series between Georgia and Florida. How about November 8th, 1980 here at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville? Young man by the name of Herschel Walker. He goes right. He goes strong. And he goes
Fast.
long.
He goes fast.
And he's still going, folks, to this day. 72-yard touchdown run. Of course, what a great year that was for Georgia. They went unbeaten in 1980. Last time a Southeastern Conference team has done that. What about Garrison Hurst today, Dick? 3 carries, -2 yards.
They just haven't been on the field.
Just haven't got him the ball when they've been there. 1st and 10 at the 39. Matthews will go down the middle. It's wide open to Kelvin Randolph, his fullback. And Randolph gets it down to the 26-yard line. His 6th reception of the year. He only has 1 carry. as the fullback. And look at the smile on his face. I get to touch the ball finally.
You know, and he's been hurt for a little while and wasn't playing there. And then Chris Bilkey was in there playing. Now he's healthy, and you can see that grin on his face. But those are easy passes for the quarterback to complete. Little play action, fake it to him, then just drop it off and give it to him about 8 yards in front of you.
Look at that. Defense forces the opponent to move 259 yards before giving it up.
That's outstanding.
That's coming in today. Yeah. 1st and 10. Rhett inside the 20, down to the 18, his 14th carry of the day. He's rushed now for 40 yards as Torrey Evans, weak side linebacker out of Atlanta, number 45, was there to make the tackle.
He was so excited about being healthy the other day on the practice field. Every time he touched the ball, just against the air or against the dummy defensive team, he would run like he's going to go for an 80-yard touchdown and sprint back just to prove to the coach that he was ready to go.
2nd down and 2. At the 18-yard line, the Gators, you can really feel the confidence, the momentum they're building right now. As they'll give it to Rhett, right side.
Good defense.
And he is down inside the 15. He's got enough for the 1st down. Greg Jackson, 54, the senior from Sharon, and Damon Ward, 53, there to make the stop. I'll tell you, Greg Jackson, 72 tackles, 5 sacks, 4 tackles for losses, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery. He gives you a little bit of everything at 6'2" and 245.
Plus, he is their best pass rusher as well, you know, and he's also the leader of that group.
Trips to the far side on 1st and 10 from the 14. No back behind Matthews.
Now you have to watch for the quarterback draw and those seam throws to those inside people.
Going to the back of the end zone. Touchdown! Willie Jackson. Shane Matthews has now thrown 9 touchdown passes in not quite 2.5 games against the University of Georgia.
See, they get you spread out horizontally from sideline to sideline, and they take those 2 receivers, not tight end type guys, and put them just flexed outside the tackles just a little bit. Quarterback reads the seam and goes to the best receiver he thinks has a make in the play, the best chance.
Edmiston makes the extra point, and with 8:28 left to go, 1st half, Florida leads at 23-7.
You'll see the receiver right here. Now you see this seam right in here. You see the receiver here. There's not as good a seam over here, so he works to his left. Now watch this. See the safety now playing middle, favoring to the right. Freeze it right there. Freeze it there. You see this safety was favoring this hash mark, so they went there. If they'd have favored that hash mark, he'd have come here. Good coaching. Sophisticated offense.
He throws a very catchable football, doesn't he, Dick?
Well, how many times did we say on the practice field the other day, you just don't see the ball touch the turf. When he throws it, it is catchable.
Nice downward spiral. Lays it in there gently, and I'll tell you, Willie Jackson.
Go, baby. Number 1, baby, number 1. Number 1. Take it to the field.
Remember, folks, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And this is a young Florida football team, and they're really starting to come together.
Well, you know, if you're young and talented, you really become good. If you're young and not very talented,
that's a good point.
You know, these guys are young and talented.
If you're losing and you say, yeah, but we're young, you know, you're saying, well, we hope we're young and we're good.
Yeah.
Because if you're young and you're not good, you're going to be losing 2 years from now. That's the bandana bunch right there. And another good deep kickoff. And Hastings ain't going to bring it back. Ryan Ruland's done a terrific job today, the junior from Altamont Springs.
He has. You know, the problem for a defensive staff like Georgia and preparing against an offense like Florida is that they don't see it. They don't run that style themselves. They haven't played a team in 4 weeks that throws the ball, makes it tough.
Well, Dick, next Saturday on ABC Sports, some key conference matchups to tell you about. I'm going to get a chance to see Alabama, the 4th-ranked team in the nation, at LSU. I know you're going to be up in the Big Ten. We've also got San Diego State and Wyoming and Marshall Faulk, Southwest Conference action, a Pac-10 game. Check your local listings and your cable company for pay-per-view. That's next Saturday here on ABC Sports. 1st and 10 as Zaire coming near side, and nothing doing right there. That was about a 5-yard pass intended that time for number 5, Garrison Hurst, and Ray Goff kind of scratching his head right now, trying to figure out what we can do on offense. This is a fired up Florida defense.
The one thing he's got to do is eat up some of the clock himself and keep Florida off the field, but they've got to put the ball in Garrison Hearst's hand. He's the guy that makes the difference.
2nd and 10. Zayers missed his last 4 passes. And they'll give it to Hurst. He's got some room. Garrison Hearst close to the first down at the 30-yard line. Will White, number 2, the free safety, and Monty Groh made the tackle. It's going to be close. Depends on where he gets a spot.
Well, see, they're up there forcing and pretending like they're going to blitz. They get it to him deep. Now, see, he breaks the tackle there. Now, watch him right here. See, he has that acceleration, then that foot movement and speed. Good tackling downfield. 3 guys on 1. You should make that play.
He averages 8.1 yards per carry. Garrison Hearst, that's the best in the nation. And we got a timeout down on the field. 8:04 to go first half. Gators lead the Bulldogs 23-7.
Today's game can be seen tonight at 11:30 p.m. on Sports Channel Florida and WNFT TV.
In 1991, Eric Rett led the Southeastern Conference in rushing. You see what Hearst did, 968 yards. Matter of fact, Hearst as a freshman rushed for over 700 yards. 92, well, it's a little bit different story, but Rett has been hurt after his first game of the year where he rushed for about 159 yards. He's really struggled with that ankle injury, and you see what Hearst has done there with 15 rushing touchdowns. He's also caught one. But Dick today, 4 for 9, 15 for 45.
But they're still making him earn it, that 3 yards per carry.
Just the 3rd first down today for Georgia as they've got it 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Hastings in motion to the near side. And Zire will roll near side downfield. Got a receiver there. That's Hassan Graham. Graham is up to the 49-yard line. Graham, a junior college transfer from Hines Junior College, originally from Decatur, Georgia, one of 6 JC kids, brought in 18 yards on the pickup that time.
Did a real nice job of play action, and then instead of setting up behind the play action, kept right on rolling out and got right in front of the throw. It's a much shorter throw that way.
Georgia came into this game with 51 more first downs than their opponents, as they've got it 1st and 10 from the 49, as they've got 4 today, and Garrison Hearst shows you a little his stuff.
This is what they have to do, Roger. They have to give him the ball and attack the line of scrimmage. That's the kind of football player he is, and he can't beat anybody touching the ball 3 times. They got to give it to him.
Ray Goff told us last night, he said, Florida, we expect them. We told our kids they're going to make a big play offensively. We just have to keep our head about us and not get concerned about that and do what we have to do. They've gotten back into a bit of a rhythm here right now with just over 7 minutes to go. 2nd quarter. 2nd and 5.
Henry McMillan jumped there. Look, he's mad at himself. Number 60 in the middle of your screen there. They're big, Henry.
Before the ball was snapped, encroachment by the defense. Still second.
You'll see him right here in the. Look at it right here. Carries a lot of weight in those hips, doesn't he?
6'3", 286, sophomore from Folkestone, Georgia. He's one of the few Georgia players on this Florida team. 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. That's Hearst who moves up into the slot to the near side. They'll give it to Frank Harvey. Harvey spins and gets down to the 36-yard line. This is a Georgia team 7th in the nation in rushing offense with over 261 yards a game, 5th in total offense, and 8th in scoring at over 35 points a game.
Big McMillan, there he is, right at that same angle. See, he's playing that defensive tackle spot. He reads the run, he closes back down and moves back off the block. Does a good job of getting prepared to be hit by somebody else.
2nd and 7. At the 36-yard line. Zire going to Hearst, picked off. Picked off by Ed Robinson, number 41, the inside backer from the Funiac Springs, but there is a penalty marker down. The penalty against Georgia, and on the turnover,
Eric Zire tried to pull the string on that. You'll notice now, watch Zire concentrate as he makes a little fake here. He has time to throw. He's now it's so close. He tries to pull the string on it, throw it real easy. He gets it up a little too high. See, he got it up there a little bit too high. It's batted in the air. Robinson makes the second interception of his career.
During the 90-91 season, 23 total games, Florida intercepted at least one pass in all but 4 of those games. But this year, they went 4 games without a pick in only 6 contests. So they have not been creating the turnovers, as the running back there is Tony Davis. Matter of fact, last year, 31 turnovers, resulting in some 90 points for the University of Florida. They have not created those sort of turnovers this year.
Real good linebacking play right there by Godfrey, number 42. Ladies and gentlemen, follow this true freshman as he plays the linebacker position as it should be played. Shoulder square, staying behind the ball, tracking it. Here it is, here mine, wham, nice play.
You like that, I take it.
Oh, it's exciting to see it. Oh, I love it.
2nd and 8. He's a defensive guy.
No, not really. I just like to see it done right.
Matthews will throw it near side. Oh, nearly picked off. Number 2, Al Jackson, the senior from Pensacola. Had it there, and he had nothing but 6 points in front of him.
Oh, gosh. I think he saw the Georgia end zone down there. He saw that down. He says, I'm going to get in that thing as quick as I can.
He's had 1 interception this year.
He was the most improved defensive player in spring, and you can see why he named that on that play.
Florida 3 of 6 in 3rd down situations. They've got it 3rd and 8 at the 37-yard line. Trips will come to the near side. Tony Davis, the freshman from Chipley, is the lone setback.
They're in trouble right now, and they're not lined up properly defensively.
Weak side pressure as the pass is incomplete. Pass is incomplete. The intended receiver was Willie Jackson, but Al Jackson was on the coverage. So the Georgia defense comes up with a series.
Got a little help. They knocked one down, and then they get one dropped right there.
Army winning today 57-17, and our deepest sympathies go out to the family of Tom Cahill, the former coach who passed away this last week. Utah beat Air Force. Good win for the Utes, as Shane Edge is back at the 22-yard line. The punt it, Andre Hastings standing at his 20. 5:13 to go first half. Wind has died down now. And that's a low line drive kick. Hastings at the 23. And Hastings up to near the 40-yard line. He's out of bounds at the 39.
You just don't want to punt the ball low like that, because it gets in the punt returner's hands too quick, and the coverage people can't get there. You want to try to get it up in the air, hold it at least 4.1, 4.2 seconds.
40 yards on the punt, 15 on the return. Tomorrow night on ABC, Halloween continues for one more day with a special edition of America's Funniest Home Videos. Then at a special earlier time, Julia Roberts and Richard Gere star in the network premiere of Pretty Woman on the ABC Sunday night movie tomorrow.
That was a good movie.
It was.
That was a good movie.
1st and 10 at the 38. 5:01 to go. Florida leads at 23-7. Zaire's got to move out of the pocket. Mistake. 57, Kevin Carter, the sophomore from Tallahassee, with his 2nd sack.
Kevin Carter is the young man that I had a chance to visit with. You'll see him flash from the left side of your screen. He'll get a good pass rush up there. He gets a play-action pass. And I was talking to Kevin, very articulate young man. I said, what are you majoring in? He said, I'm majoring in pharmacy. I says, can you make a lot of money in that? He says, I think I can do a good job if I go on the retail end of it. He's thinking ahead.
2nd and 10. Zaire to throw it. Got Andre Hastings with room. Hastings inside the 40 to the 38-yard line, where Will White makes a tackle. 22 yards. And Dick Vermeil, did you like that play?
I love the middle screens. I really do. Ladies and gentlemen, offensive linemen can go downfield. Now, you'll see him come from the outside and work in here. As long as he catches the ball behind the line of scrimmage, see, as long as he catches behind the line of scrimmage, offensive linemen, freeze it right there. You'll see the linemen are all in front of him here. They can get down there, and big guys can find somebody to hit and screen them off. Love those kind of screen plays.
Hey, those big guys love to go downfield and block, too.
They do.
1st and 10. Zaire down the middle. Got his man.
Great catch.
Damon Evans, the senior from Oakwood, with just his 3rd reception of the year. Will White and Larry Kennedy were right around him, but Zaire put it right in there.
You'll find him right to the center of your screen, the left center of your screen, as you take a look at this. Here he is right here, coming in. See, Now watch the zone receiver defenders collapse on him. He knows he's going to get hit, but he maintains concentration. Wham! Here comes the other guy. Headache right there, but he hangs on to it. Almost. Yeah, no, he's got it.
Florida player is injured at the 20-yard line after 20 yards on the pickup. It's Larry Kennedy, who's had an excellent day so far. He's blocked a punt, made some nice plays in the secondary for the Gators. 2 tackles, a couple of breakups, and that punt block. He's on his feet.
This is what he wants to be when he gets out of school. An IRS agent. Nobody's going to like him. You'll see another shot of it right now. He gets it tucked away. There's the contact being made by Kennedy. The ball's knocked loose, but he comes down right on top of it and pushes it back in his belly.
1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Hastings in motion to the near side. Garrison Hearst, the deep back. He'll get the football. Gets it to the outside. Hearst to the 15 before he's knocked out by Eddie Lake, sophomore from Tarpon Springs, number 37.
This is what he does so well. He attacks the line of scrimmage in the direction. Now watch this, ladies. He'll attack here. He'll get pursuit coming like this, and then all of a sudden, he'll find a crack back here. Great vision. Now watch him as he'll attack the left side of your screen. Now watch him come back. Wham! See, and he comes back parallel, and he has the speed to go ahead and keep working upfield.
2nd and 4 from the 13. Zayers checking off at the line of scrimmage. Now he's going to go back in the shotgun.
He's reading blitz. Here they come.
Zaire, the shovel pass underneath. Tried to get it to Garrison Hearst. Ed Robinson, the inside backer, was the man putting a lot of pressure on it. Gator defense has been good inside the red zone. 22 times the opponents have been there. They've only allowed 8 touchdowns.
I know they've done a good job, but you know, in contrast, Georgia has been real good down inside that same zone. So when they get down here, they normally score. They've been inside the 10 12 times and came out with 8 touchdowns. Here they're inside the 20. They've been down there 33 times and scored 27.
Georgia's 0 for 3 on 3rd down situations. They came into the game completing 41% so far this season of 3rd downs. It's 3rd and 4 from the 13. Zayer's got a man wide open. Touchdown, Hassan Graham.
This game is a long way from over. They really needed that, but more than points, they got a lift. You mentioned earlier that there was a little change in momentum. Now, if they can play good defense, they can go in the locker room with a smile on their face.
Todd Peterson with the point after. 3:26 to go first half. Florida 23, Georgia 14. And welcome back here to the Gator Bowl, Jacksonville, Florida. Roger Twibell, Dick Vermeil, Julie Moran along with you. Hassan Graham just got the touchdown pass from Zaire. 6 plays, 62 yards. And as Dick mentioned, this thing's a long way from being over. I think they just started appetizers myself, Dick. We got 3:26 to go first half as Todd Peterson will kick it off. 23-14, Florida leads Georgia. Jack Jackson and Harrison Houston back deep for the Gators. And that is Jack Jackson. Jackson breaks it to the outside. Jackson to the 36-yard line. We'd like to pause 5 seconds to allow our ABC stations to identify themselves.
17 WJKS, Jacksonville, Florida.
Taking a look at the touchdown play from the behind the quarterback, I'll show you some of the little critical things that are important. Watch the quarterback is right. Freeze it right there. See, right here, he's looking this way. He's looking back to the left. See, that keeps the defense moving that way. Then he goes ahead and fires it in for the post pattern for the touchdown. Good use of the eyes.
1st and 10 as Rhett busts it up to the 40-yard line. Gain of about 5. Casey Barnum makes the tackle with 3:09 left to go. And with Zaire's touchdown pass, his 10th of the year. Hassan Graham, Ray Goff told us in that same vein we were talking about earlier about true freshmen. He said, look, I'm going to go out and get 6 or 7 junior college kids. A lot of these kids are from the state of Georgia, and they're going out to junior college for a year, maybe even 2 years. He says they're kids we recruited out of high school, and he says that's the route we're going to go in this day of age when scholarship limitations are coming down each year. 2nd and 5 from the 40. Matthews down the middle. found his receiver there. Godfrey was all over him as he's been making all sorts of tackles. Rhett was the man that made the reception.
You know, real good offensive line stunt pickup, meaning the offensive lineman set back to pass protect. The defensive people in front of them all cross-charged, and they maintained the discipline, picked up the right people, gave the quarterback time to throw. Good job of coaching by Coach McGeorge.
Matthews today 15 of 24, 173 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he faces a 3rd and 2 at the 43-yard line. Matthews now checking off at the line of scrimmage. Rhett. Looked like Rhett got tripped up before he even got going, but Casey Barnum was there nonetheless.
Again, good penetration by the nose guard. He had to jump around, and normally the center gets help. You'll see him sitting right here. Normally you'll get help right here. I don't think he got that help. You'll see, no, he didn't get that help. The guard stepped out. The center couldn't handle him. They have to punt the football. Take another look. Real tight in there. You'll see the... Oh, what happened there?
Casey Barnum got there. That's what happened there.
He was quicker than the tape.
He was quicker, yeah, absolutely. Shane Edge back to punt at the 27, and then Andre Hastings inside his 20. Edge, that's another low line drive kick on the run. Hastings will reverse his field, and he stopped at the 27-yard line. So 1 minute and 6 to go in Georgia with 3 timeouts. And this young man, who's been a good punter all year, has not had a stellar day so far.
That's right. You know, that was a real big defensive series for Georgia right there, because Florida, as demonstrated through the first half, has the ability to move the ball in chunks. They stop them from making it, get the ball back. They regain momentum and maintain momentum to go in at halftime.
Coming up on the Prudential Halftime Report, John Saunders will have scores and highlights of all the action from around the country. Some upsets today to tell you about. Georgia 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. Sire, Hastings across the 45 to the 47-yard line. Carlton Miles, 31, the inside backer, was there to make the stop after 19 yards.
Boy, he rifled that in between the 2 zone linebackers right there, just defensing the field. Good strong arm by this young man.
Came into this game completing 57% of his passes from the 47. Dumps it underneath, and it's dropped. The intended receiver was Frank Harvey, but he saw a couple of blue-shirted receivers. And let's go to Julie Moran. Julie?
Well, Roger and Dick, Wayne McDuffie was telling his offense just what Ray Goff told us last night. He said, guys, we're a second-half ball club. Don't forget that. We've been that all year. Florida comes out, strikes quick. Remember that, too. Be patient. He said the second half is going to be ours.
Thanks, Julie. Yeah, he said they've been a slow-starting team all year, but he says they've always finished strong. 2nd and 10. 45 seconds left to go. Throws it near side to Hurst.
They get out of bounds.
They've got all 3 of their timeouts left.
Use one right now.
They got a first down.
The clock will stop until they get lined up. Then they'll wind it up.
14 yards on the pickup. Ray Goff, former quarterback. There's your defensive coordinator, Mr. Zook, for the University of Florida. Ron Zook. Zaire on 1st and 10 from the 39. Eludes one tackler. Now he gets to the sideline. Henry McMillan putting the pressure on.
You know, they have a very good field goal kicker. He's only missed 1 this year since he took over the responsibility. If they can get it down in there, you know, they get it inside that 40-yard field goal. He has not missed 1 this year if they can get it down there.
John Saunders will be along with the Prudential Halftime Report. 26 seconds left to go first half. Florida leads Georgia 23-14.
All 3 timeouts left, as you said.
3 wide receivers. They give it to Hurst.
And a call timeout there.
Doesn't get much. Bill Gunner had him. Gunner made the tackle, gain of about 2.
Normally you wouldn't do that, but when you have a running back like Hurst, see, and they're thinking, I think right now they're thinking field goal, trying to get another 12, 15 yards to get it inside like a 40, 42-yard field goal. You'll give it to a Hurst.
20 seconds left to go. First half from the Gator Bowl. Well, I hope everybody's going to have a nice trick or treat this evening on this Halloween Saturday. 23-14. We've had a terrific game so far here.
And it's your treat.
It is my treat tonight. It was your treat last night. But Dick, it's always my treat with you. 20 seconds left to go. two former quarterbacks on the sideline. Steve Spurrier and Ray Goff. One threw better than the other, one ran better than the other. Eric Zeier out of the shotgun. Third down and 7. Hurst short of the first down. Carlton Miles, 31, was there to make the tackle, and they've used their second timeout.
Ball on the 32-yard line.
This is a defense, the University of Florida, Dick, we've talked a little bit about, but they lost 3 of their top 4 down men to the NFL last year, and then they lost 3 of the 4 guys they thought were going to replace them. The injuries, some academic problems and stuff. So this is really the front part of this defensive unit, even though they return the secondary intact. Ron Zook, it takes some time to get these guys playing together.
Well, and he's got them playing together, and he knows, he's felt it coming. He said that in the meeting the other day. I feel him coming, but he was concerned because they hadn't faced an offense that was, hey, #1 rushing team in the conference and #2 rushing team in the country. Plus, hey, the total offense, they're #2 in total offense. Or #1 in total offense, actually. Yep. So, tough to defense that kind of team, but they're doing a good job.
Well, Todd Peterson has come into the game. He's going to look at a 41-yard field goal. He's been pretty good this year, Dick.
Longer than a 41.
Let's make it at the...
Add that 17.
Excuse me. We're going to look back here. 49-yard field goal. 49-yard field goal.
His long is a 48.
He's 3 of 3 from this 40 to 49-yard mark with 11 seconds left to go. First half.
Has a very good leg.
Just got it. Just got it. He's only missed once this year.
Ray Goff might have to start liking kickers.
Yeah, he doesn't like it. He's a lot like you in that vein. 23-17.
49 yards.
And the Florida lead is down to 6.
Hey, I love kickers, he's saying. I love to have those kickers on my team.
In 92, Peterson is 12 of 12 under 50 yards. His only miss has been over.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Done a great job.
5 seconds left to go first half.
Boy, what an edge this gives you mentally going in at halftime, because they have taken it away from him here in the second half of that second quarter.
See what Shane Matthews, who's dominated this Georgia defense the last 2 years, see what he can do in the second half.
I guarantee you Spurrier's got a lot of ammunition he hasn't used yet.
How many passing plays do you think that he has in his book?
In the game plan?
Yeah.
Not in the book, but in the game plan, he probably has 60 variations.
And that's just a short kick. Well, I got to tell you something. You know, when they hit those short kicks, Dick, and you've got some of those players like Kevin Freeman, who's an inside linebacker. He was sticking up his hand for a fair catch. He didn't know whether he should catch it, let it go out of bounds, try to block for somebody. There goes Kevin. So 5 seconds left to go. We put 5 receivers in there.
I think they'll just flop on.
Just throw it downfield?
Just flop. You know, I said that a few weeks ago. There was just a few seconds, like 25 seconds. I said, oh, they'll just flop on. They went down and scored in 2 plays. Yeah. So you're not always right, I'll guarantee you.
Well, there's only 1 wide receiver out there. They got the Shane Matthews protection unit in there. And that's going to complete the first half in the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida. Florida leads Georgia 23-17, and we have hardly heard from that young man today, Garrison Hurst. Getting set for the second half. Florida leads Georgia 23-17. Looking at the St. Johns River, and Vermeil's boat is parked right over there. We're going to go grab that after the game and take a little cruise, because there's going to be a monumental traffic jam. He's Dick Vermeil. I'm Roger Twibell. Julie Moran with us down on the sidelines. We've had a terrific first half of football. Florida really got things established early, Dick, and then Georgia finished strong toward the end of the half.
The big thing is that momentum, to come out at the second half with gaining momentum. Remember, we showed you those first quarter stats, how they were dominated, just really dominated by Florida. Now it comes out a little more balanced. Florida still dominating time and possession, But the one big play so far has been that blocked punt. You saw there was only one turnover, but really it's two when you get a punt blocked.
Well, there's the Florida first half possessions and the Georgia first half possessions, and you see they finished up with a touchdown and the field goal. And there was also the blocked extra point, which we've got to remember too, and this is a 6-point ball game right now. And there is Shane Matthews, and
he has a lot of weapons that haven't been used yet.
He does, and you know, he has a lot of confidence playing against this Georgia football team because he has led the University of Florida to 31 and 32-point victories the last 2 years.
7 touchdowns, no interceptions against them. That's a pretty good percentage, you know.
And he produces a touchdown every 9 pass completions. That's the same as Dan Marino when he was at Pitt.
That's right. And you know, the other thing, his interception ratio is much better than Dan Marino's is coming out of college. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to be better than Dan Marino. There isn't one, but that's still a good job.
Hastings and Hurst back, and Ryan Rulin has done a terrific job kicking off. And he hits another one into the end zone, and that time, yeah, Hastings is going to give it a go. Hastings spinning, finally gets across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The tackle made by Larry Kennedy. He's done a little bit of everything today.
He does. You know, Hastings reminds me a little bit of O.J. McDuffie, the fine player from Penn State. He can do it all.
I kind of figured you were going to get McDuffie's name into this.
He's an outstanding player
game today.
And this guy is a young McDuffie. Hey, that's you, isn't it? That's Twybo.
No, that's just a couple of trick-or-treaters, man. That's what we're going to be looking like later. Just underway, second half from the Gator Bowl. 23-17, Florida leads Georgia. Zaire has him first and 10, and he gives it to Hurst. Cuts it outside. Nice play there by Johnny Church. And let's go to Julie Moran. Julie?
Well, Roger, at halftime, Ray Goff told his team, he said, you really maintained your poise. You were down 24-7. Florida had you on the ropes, but you refused to buckle. He said, we've scored the last 2 times. We had the ball. We stopped them when they had the ball. And he said what he told us last night. Guys, you are a second-half ball team. We have the momentum back. Let's win this game.
Thanks, Julie. Second down and 14 after the loss of 4. Ball back on the 17-yard line out of the split backfield. Zaire down the middle. Got number 82, Shannon Mitchell, as tight end. Will White was the first man to get him. White, the senior from Tallahassee, came into this game with 39 tackles. Mitchell's 15th reception on the year.
You know, they're giving him an awful lot of time right now to throw the football, and if they just properly mix in the run and the pass ratio and keep it pretty balanced, but make sure that they get the ball in Garrison Hurst's hand enough times, we're going to have a tight one right down at the end.
Got a third down situation here. Third down and 4 from the 27-yard line.
And as you said in the first half, Florida has been outstanding at preventing third down conversions.
29% on the year. That means they've gotten people into a lot of third and longs as Zaire is hit as he throws it. Pressure that time by the Florida defense, and Henry McMillan, the sophomore from Folkestone, Georgia, was the man who came through and hit Zaire just as he released the football.
I can't believe they wanted to throw the ball that far downfield with that complicated of an action to make a 5-yard gain. Obviously, they took an intended receiver out of it. You see the action. Here comes the pressure from behind and gives it to him right in the back. Zaire jumps up to find out if he completed it or not. Look at, he still thinks he might have had a shot at it.
Scott Armstrong inside the 15. He's had a punt blocked. He's had a 40 and 36-yarder as Monty Duncan weaves his way to the 45-yard line. The Gators will have good field position. So let's see who starts off the second half.
You know, you notice how the momentums have changed. The momentum has changed from team to team in this ball game, and how you can look down on the field and see the different intensity level as it gets up and goes a little bit quicker and more intense as you gain that momentum. As a coach, I used to always think, why can't we play all the time like we have the momentum, you know?
Well, in this situation, the Georgia defense created that momentum for their offense toward the end of the first half. Let's see if Shane Matthews and team can get it back on 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line. Play action, Matthews down the middle. He had a receiver wide open there. Trey Everett, the senior from Washington, D.C., and You won't see Matthews throw many passes that far off the mark.
It was nicely thrown, just incomplete.
Who does he remind you of, Dick? Is there anybody that you could draw a parallel to?
No, I really can't. No one in particular. He doesn't have a real strong arm, but he has a good arm. Very accurate. Very accurate. Throws a tight spiral. It's an easy ball to catch.
See what the Gators have done. #1 in the Southeastern Conference in passive offense, and this is what they're doing today. 173 yards on 2nd and 10 from the 45-yard line. Matthews got his man. Beautiful throw, and the catch made by number 82, Aubrey Hill.
See, they excuse me, Roger, they substitute him in as a tight end in a 3-receiver, 4-receiver formation. You'll see him standing up over here. Normally they have a tight end. When they put a receiver, wide receiver in that position, they're thinking of working over there. A little more skilled athlete at that position. They ran a corner pattern with a short pattern in front to give him that area to attack.
18 yards on the pickup for the sophomore from Miami, Florida. Just his 7th catch of the year. 1st and 10, 36-yard line. Trips to the far side. Up the middle, Malone inside the 30, down to the 28-yard line where Chris Wilson made the tackle on Keitra Malone, the sophomore from Niceville. You know, Ray Goff has mentioned that they're a better second-half football team. Indeed, they have outscored their opponents 141-36. But the reality of the situation is that Tennessee is probably the best team they face this year until the University of Florida.
Right. I agree with you 100%.
2nd and 1. Rhett, the lone setback. Trips to the far side.
They're going to toss him the ball.
They pitch it back. Willie Jackson. Jackson's got the first down inside the 25. And for Willie Jackson, that was the first time he's carried the ball this year.
Well, that's a different style of play altogether. They get in a 3-receiver formation to the top of the field, and then they bring him in motion and toss him the ball. So defensive people call a defense to play pass defense, and then they run it.
BYU beat Penn State. Kansas over Oklahoma State. That sets up a big game in the Big 8 between Nebraska and Kansas next week in Lincoln. 1st and 10 from the 23-yard line. Matthews, far side, pass just off the hands of Trey Everett. And let's go to New York and John Saunders. John?
Stanford and Washington, and Mark Brunell, for the 2nd time today, turns nothing into something. Scrambles out of trouble and finds Jason Shelley, who by the time he gets it to him is wide open. The touchdown as Washington's rolling now 27-7. Roger.
Thank you, John. Boy, that was a great throw. Brunell going to his right, coming back to the left-handed quarterback.
Well, he's really a skilled athlete.
2nd down and 10. 23-yard line. 11:30 to go, 3rd quarter. Matthews, the ball was tipped. The intended receiver was Rhett. And a defender got his hand on it up front. Looked like Deshae McKeever, number 94, redshirt freshman from Hazelhurst. Steve Spurrier. He coaches his quarterbacks. He coaches his offense. So he's very hands-on head coach.
He's totally involved. You know, you watch him on the practice field, and he and his coaching staff, the defense on one field, the offense the other, and he is running the offense. No back attack.
3rd down and 10. Florida 3 of 8. And they've missed their last 3 3rd down situations. Matthews has got that side of the field wide open. He's going to try to run for it. Matthews is knocked out inside the 20-yard line. He had Willie Jackson open, and there's a penalty marker down.
I think they might have called unnecessary roughness and hit him out of bounds.
49, Maurice Harrell was the last man to get there.
If they call that, that's going to be a 1st down.
Travis Jones, 51, and Harrell, 49, were the 2 guys giving chase.
No, he put the hanky in his pocket. Let's see what he calls.
Dead ball foul, personal foul on the defense, half the distance, 1st down.
Whoa.
See, instead of being 4th down and forcing him to kick a field goal, it's 1st down. Let's see if we can see it here. There's Shane Matthews right there right there. He's okay.
Well, 48 went over the top. They must have.
Yeah, that's a tough call.
That was Travis Jones, 51, the first man to hit him.
See, that's like a turnover.
Yeah. 1st and goal. Ball at the 9-yard line. Malone is the deep back. He's going to get it off the right side. And Malone down inside the 5-yard line where Greg Jackson, 54, makes a tackle.
Kedra Malone was injured, had a knee injury, and he missed the first 3 games of the season. And now he's back and going again. Not a great big guy at 5'8", 176, but he has good quickness.
You know, Florida's had a problem, Dick. They've had 18 offensive turnovers in 6 games.
You know, and then last year they were +4 on the year. This year they're -10, and that computes to be worth about 40 points.
2nd and goal from the 5. In motion, Trey Everett.
Blitz.
Rhett. Fumble the football. Georgia got it. Greg Jackson, 54, came up with the loose ball. His 2nd fumble recovery of the year.
Big, big, big play. Yes, they've got 90 yards to go to score, but taking the ball away from your people down there. Great defensive play. Good defensive call. You'll see blitz on the top, blitz on the bottom. Both of them coming. Here they are. See it? There it is. Hits him right from behind. Wham! The ball's loose. Georgia has it.
There goes the visor for the 3rd time today.
Yeah. Oh,
well, no.
I can't believe it.
After the turnover, Georgia's got it. 1st and 10. Garrison Hurst. It's been tough running today for this young man, Dick Vermeil.
Yeah, you know, Coach Zook told me what they were going to do with their defensive line when they were going to penetrate real hard inside, but the defensive ends were going to play softer and not get upfield and try to prevent those cutbacks. And for the most part, that philosophy and that decision has really helped them. Coach Ron Zook.
Zook's a defensive coach for Florida, and is like most defensive coaches, he's slightly intense, as we saw the other day at practice. 2nd and 8 from the 12-yard line. Sire is dragged out of bounds at the 16 by Bill Gunner, who showed you some good speed on the lateral pursuit.
Amazing speed for a man 260 pounds. Senior from Bradenton, Florida. Good speed, good effort. Here he's getting back outside there. See, he's all the way outside the defense. Now here's a quarterback sprinting. Here comes the defensive lineman.
I want to finish my story about Zook. I was going to say the difference between an offensive and defensive coach. Spurrier likes to play golf, and Zook likes to go water skiing. You know? 3rd down and 4 from the 16-yard line. And a penalty marker is down before the play. The whistles were blowing, and it looked like Hurst was going to come up short of the 1st down.
For the ball snap, movement by the offensive line. 5 yards, still 3rd down.
Well, Dick, the last 3 games, the Florida defense has allowed just 81.7 yards rushing per game. And granted, you know, Harvey made that 80-yard touchdown run to open things up, but since then, they haven't given up much of anything.
See, they can run so well. All of the people that have demonstrated, defensive linemen have speed, linebackers have speed, and of course, the secondary has speed. When you can run, you normally prevent the long run.
3rd down and 9. Georgia's converted on just 1 3rd down situation. Zaire throws it incomplete. The intended receiver, Hassan Graham. And on the coverage was Eddie Lake, a sophomore from Tarpon Springs, a backup cornerback.
Boy, he did a real nice job. You know, it was tight coverage. He was out there all by himself. And Lake has to be pleased with that performance right there. And Zaire thought he had it. Oh, my God, that's close.
Georgia now just 1 of 7 on 3rd down situations, and they're faced now on a 4th down with their punter Scott Armstrong about 3 yards deep in the end zone.
Good punt.
Yeah, nice high punt that time. Fair catch being called and taken at the 40 by Monty Duncan.
Oh, there's a personal foul. That's stupid football down there.
Penalty marker at the 5-yard line was Garrison Hurst.
That's stupid.
And for Florida, that was Kevin Freeman.
You'll see him right there. Garrison Hurst, the fullback for the spread punt team, plays over.
Well,
no, it happened. Actually, we stopped it. Then there was contact made after that.
That was it. I mean, the flag came down right at that moment.
After the play was over, Dead ball personal foul on the receiving team. Be 15 yards, be 1st and 25.
The official was standing right next to him.
There's the hand in the face right there.
Back at the Gator Bowl here in Jacksonville, where Florida leads Georgia by 6, and that penalty after the play, so the Gators will have it 1st and 25. Back at the 45-yard line.
Here it is, no back attack. That really spreads you from sideline to sideline.
4 wide receivers. Matthews throws it underneath. Matthews to Willie Jackson, and Jackson to the 40-yard line, where he is run out of bounds over on the far side by Torrey Evans, a senior from Atlanta.
See what happens now, you've got him spread all the way across the field, and you end up right here with this man on a linebacker crossing the field, and that's a wide receiver, number 22, Jackson. See, now he's being covered. You see him have to picked up right there in the middle of your screen. He's being picked up by a linebacker, number 45, Torrey Evans. So getting a mismatch.
2nd down and 10 at the 40-yard line. Jackson, 6 receptions, 96 yards. As Matthews, that's a tough pass to the near side. The intended receiver was Trey Everett. Al Jackson was on the coverage.
Again, he's getting time to throw the football. When you don't have good man-to-man coverage, people, and it's not part of your philosophy, it's hard to blitz. You have to get your rush from your down 4, and they're not getting much pressure on him right now.
3rd down and 10. 5 wide receivers and no running backs for Florida as Matthews comes out of the pocket. Trying to get to the sticks at the 30-yard line. He's going to be just shy. A lot of pressure by Mitch Davis that time from the weak side.
Mitch Davis, the best defensive football player, put the heat on him. But what they did now, by advancing the ball that far with a quarterback scramble, they give him a decision to make. Shall we go for the 4th down? They have been so good on 4th down conversion, they may go for it here.
And they're going to do exactly that. They're 11 of 12 this year on 4th down situations. So now this is a 4th and 2.
And he will have some kind of a dickum throw. You watch.
And they're 2 of 2 today on 4th down. 8:52 to go, 3rd quarter.
They like to roll out from this formation.
He's got the fullback Bilkey behind him, who's going to be the lead man. But look out, weak side, and he is dumped. Carlo Butler. 12 yards on the sack.
Carlo Butler will flash into the screen here. Number 28, see him right there in the middle of your screen now. Here he comes. Now he's going to try to knock that ball out of his hand. So he's going to try to get it. He didn't get it. He almost got the helmet.
12-yard loss on the sack by Carlo Butler. And the 4th down situation didn't work for Florida. And now Georgia with good field position at the 42-yard line, 1st and 10. Sire, look out, he got it right there. 40, Johnny Church, the freshman from Fort Myers.
And he's a true freshman. He didn't think he'd ever be a down lineman. He was going to be a linebacker. Here he is coming from the bottom of your screen. You'll see him right over here. Here he comes, number 40. He's being blocked by Alec Minnon. See, he waits too long to get his hands on him. See, he let him get too deep. You got to jam him much sooner than that. Take another look. See, he waited too long. Let him get upfield too far. Pattern taken downfield, taken away, sack.
A loss of 7 on the play. 2nd down and 17 from the 35. Play action to her. Sire will throw it out to Harvey. And Harvey gets to the 45 to the 46-yard line where Carlton Miles, the inside backer from Daytona Beach,
I still say this, right?
made the tackle. Yep.
Georgia's going to win this football game. They've got to win it with the guy that got him here.
Yep.
They've got to get the ball in Hurst's hands, either running or throwing it to him. It's a waste of a down to put the ball in somebody else's hands.
Well, once again, 2 previous years against Georgia, Hurst 27 carries for 70 yards.
That's history.
Yeah. 3rd down and 7. But sometimes history repeats itself.
Yeah, it's having a way of doing it. Here comes a blitz.
Sire throwing deep downfield, and he was hit as he let it go. The intended receiver was Hassan Graham. And I'll tell you, Zaire is walking downfield, talking to his receivers, wasn't happy with some of the routes that were being run. Andre Hastings and Zaire having a couple words.
Well, he had a slot, flatten out, and up and go on it on a 3rd and 6 call. Boy, I would have been thinking first down, much higher percentage.
Dick, the second time they've gone deep, real deep, on a 3rd down and 4 or 5.
Obviously, they think they can get the tight man coverage in those situations, and that's why they're going deep.
Armstrong to punt it. Fair catch being called right at the 20-yard line by Monty Duncan. 34 yards on the punt. It was 7:10 to go, 3rd quarter. Gators lead the Dogs 23-17. Ron Zook, the defensive coordinator for Florida, congratulating his team as they come off the field. And Dick, forgot about that cord back there. What's happening? You got to get those wireless mics, you know?
Here he is putting in a new defense right now.
1st and 10, 20-yard line for the Gators. They shovel it to Rhett. Rhett across the 30, up to the 34-yard line before Torrey Evans makes the tackle.
That's a real clever little draw play. It's like a shovel pass, but only in principle. The uniqueness of this play is that the quarterback will go all the way past. Watch the quarterback here as he'll drop all the way beyond. See, so the linebacker's quick reading draw, and then he flips it to him back in front. Now watch. See, then he flips it to him. So the linebackers normally would buzz out of there much deeper.
12 yards on the pickup. In motion is Jack Jackson to the near side on 1st and 10. Matthews trying to clear somebody out. He just throws it away. He saw nothing was there. Good decision by the senior quarterback.
He knows when not to take a chance. That's why he has such an outstanding or very sound pass interception ratio in his career. He only throws one every 25 attempts.
Well, you
you
think about it. He threw 5 in that Mississippi State game, but it was a very emotional game to go back home after his mother had passed away this past summer. And I think you take everybody. You take a year. You just throw one game out.
Yes.
You have a bad game, and that's what that was. 2nd and 10 at the 34. Donnie Mabe has been in the game for Georgia, number 95. He's missed some time because of an injury. They'll hand it up the middle. A lot of room there as Rhett is able to bust it past the 45 to the 48-yard line.
Doing a real
13 yards on the pickup right there by Eric Rhett.
He's imitating Garrison Hurst. Good job of blocking by his fullback. He gets through on the lead draw. Now, Bilkey goes through, cuts the linebacker. Now he uses that good movement, good foot speed, jumps up over the top, 1st down.
Rhett's only one of 4 Gator rushers in their history to break the 1,000-yard mark. How about Neil Anderson and Jimmy DeBose and Emmitt Smith? Pretty good company right there. He did that a year ago when he led the Southeastern Conference. 1st and 10. Bilkey, the fullback. That's a 1st down to the 42-yard line as Chris Bilkey with just his 4th pass reception of the year.
So you don't have to be a great passer to throw that one complete. You just have to be able to read what the coverage does. He faked the ball to the tailback. The fullback went over to pick up a linebacker if he comes. If he doesn't come, he checks down. Quarterback knew he didn't have anyone to block. He dropped him the football.
Northwestern loses to Michigan State. They nearly came back to win another one.
They're doing a good job at Northwestern.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Matthews got a receiver over there on the far side. Beautiful catch by Aubrey Hill.
Again, see, they had him in the tight end position. And whenever they have a wide receiver to tight end position, they want to work to him. Now, you'll see him right here, standing up right there. He'll come off with play action now away from him. See, now he releases inside, he gets on the safety, and he goes to the corner, the right-hand bottom corner of your screen. See, he's on a safety cornerback right there. Good throw. Nice catch. Excellent throw.
2nd catch on the day for the slender sophomore from Miami. 1st down at the 24-yard line. No backs in there. 5 receivers. Matthews will throw it to the far side to Jack Jackson. and he's going to get about 8 on the play. Mike Jones, a senior from Thomasville, Georgia, makes a tackle. And once again, you're seeing the versatility of that Florida offense, the number of different receivers that Shane Matthews can go to.
I know, you know, he's been in this system. He really understands that. He's like having a coach on the field. He's already graduated. He's in graduate school. He has his degree, and Coach Spurrier is giving him his graduate degree in how to play quarterback.
5 receivers have at least 10 catches on the year on second and, let's call it a long 4 as Rhett gets the pitch out.
Oh, nice job.
Nice job over there. Number 2, Al Jackson, the senior from Pensacola, came up to make the tackle. And we'd like to pause 5 seconds to allow our ABC stations to identify themselves.
17 WJKS, Jacksonville, Florida.
Sold out Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida. And the Gators lead the Bulldogs 23-17. Florida looking for their 3rd consecutive win over Georgia. That hasn't happened since back in the 61 through 63 seasons. Along with Julie Moran, Dick Vermeil, I'm Roger Twibell. 4:54 to go, 3rd quarter. Florida leads at 23-17 on a 3rd and 2. Matthews going to tuck it under and not get it. Good job that time. Jeff Kaiser 99 and Mitch Davis 58. And right now let's go to John Saunders in New York. John?
Washington is just rolling over Stanford. Stanford had the first touchdown of the game. Since then, it's been just about all Washington. That's Matt Jones for the touchdown. 34-7. Roger.
Okay, John, thank you very much. Well, I'll tell you, Washington, terrific football team out west as the field goal attempt of 34 yards. Bart Edmiston.
He's 2 for 2 from this distance. He has been a little erratic this year.
Not that time.
Right down the middle.
Yeah, that's a big one right there for Edmiston.
You bet.
That makes it Florida 26 and Georgia 17. 9-point lead for the Gators with 4:02 to go, 3rd quarter. Welcome back. 4:02 to go, 3rd quarter. Edmiston with the field goal to give Florida that cushion of 9 points. So far today, as Ryan Rulin gets set to kick it off to Andre Hastings and Garrison Hurst. Hurst has carried the ball just 9 times for 24 yards. And Rulin, leg might be getting a little bit tired. That one just goes to the goal line. Hastings hit at the 24-yard line. So a good return of 24 yards there, brought down by Marquette Oliver. And our scoring summary in this game between Georgia and Florida looks like this. Edmiston, a 21-yard field goal to get things started. Then Frank Harvey, first time he touched the ball, 80 yards on the touchdown run. Then Eric Rhett, the 1-yard run, made it 10-7. Jack Jackson, a 9-yard touchdown reception. Willie Jackson, the 14-yard touchdown reception. And then Hassan Graham, and we'll check that out in detail a little bit later. Frank Harvey trying to get it outside. And I want to tell you what, folks, as he finally gets to the sideline, a penalty marker is going to be thrown down for a face mask. Monty Groh was doing a terrific job trying to string that thing out. Didn't get enough help on it, but what happened at the end of the play looked like a face mask. So Garrison Hurst with just the 9 carries.
Face mask against the defense. 5 yards, had it on the end of the run. It's a 1st down.
You see him right there. They reach out right there. Yeah. See him grab the face mask.
Spear,
right
number 4.
They're going to call that every time.
In 31 games in his career, Garrison Hurst has topped 20 carries 8 times, 4 times in 92. So he's not on track to even carry the ball 20 times unless something happens here in a hurry. As Hurst is going to give it back to number 1, Andre Hastings, who turns it up across the 40 to the 41-yard line as Ed Robinson makes a tackle. And just to finish up the scoring summary of this game, Todd Peterson hit that 49-yard field goal. And then Bart Edmiston came back with a field goal of his own to make it 26-17, and that's where we stand with 3:25 left to go.
Well, they ran the reverse, and that's what you have to do to a team that really can run on defense.
2nd down and 4. There's Garrison Hurst. trying to get it outside. Penalty marker is down as Hurst tried to get to the outside. Good job by the Florida defense. There's a penalty marker down on the field as Dexter Daniels 48, Larry Kennedy 3, and Monty Groh number 10. Holding's going to be the call, and I had a chance to talk to Garrison Hurst yesterday and asked him how he was dealing with all the attention of this Heisman Trophy chase.
So far, the attention's great. I mean, I don't let it bother me on the field. I just handle it after practice or after a game. So far, I mean, with the attention, it's not only helping me, it's helping the team. We need all the people looking at us, helps us get on television, help the ratings of us go up.
Well, those words from Garrison Hurst. He knows where his bread's buttered. Get that team on TV, get that exposure, and that's how you make your way to the Heisman. But you got to run it for about 200 yards and continue to score those touchdowns. As Zaire throws it down the middle, beautiful catch. Jeff Thomas, number 8, a sophomore from Valdosta.
That was a beautiful catch, and there was contact made on that. See, they run action away. They run the action away here to draw the safety. Then the receiver runs the deep square in. But there was contact made on the receiver prior to the reception. I was surprised there wasn't an interference call. You'll see him now come back and see the contact made right there. They tried to knock him down. Good throw, good catch.
20 yards on the completion. 1st and 10, just across midfield, and Georgia wants a timeout. Eric Zaire is going to go over to the sideline and talk to his coaches. Want to remind you, coming up Monday night, ABC Sports will head to Soldier Field in Chicago for that's one of those classic black and blue matchups, Dick, between the Vikings and the Bears. That's coming your way at 9 Eastern on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football.
Man, in Chicago, the coaches could put the bruise on you. There were no Coach Hedges gets upset.
Except Dick is, he stopped all his press conferences. Saw Hawaii came up with a victory. They're a good team out in the WAC, 6-1. Texas A&M just keeps on rolling along. Nebraska leading Colorado in the 3rd. Kansas with a big win today. But I'll tell you, Glenn Mason's got the Hawks rolling at 7-1. Oregon leads Washington State in the 2nd quarter.
Rich Brooks always does a good job up there.
Sure does. We were talking, I just want to mention, Dick, we were talking about the numbers of carries that Garrison Hurst had, and we compared at the top Herschel Walker. Keep in mind, in Herschel's career, he topped 20 carries 33 times, and he had over 30 carries on 21 different occasions. So Garrison Hurst is not touching the ball nearly as much as Herschel Walker. And there's the all-time leading rushers into today. And you see where Hurst is at 29-17 as a junior.
They want to win it today, they better get the ball in his hands. I keep saying that.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line of Florida, and there is Garrison Hurst down to the 40. Gain of 9 on the play. Robinson and Daniels make the tackle.
The other thing, the big offensive line at 295 pounds, 280 pounds, and that kind of stuff, they can wear down a defensive team that's built on speed and pursuit. And you've got to run at them. You've got to come off the line of scrimmage. And I'm sure Coach Goff, as you see him on the screen, is thinking those things. We got to put the big guys on them, strap the helmets on, and let's go.
Since Harvey's 80-yard touchdown run on that first rush of the day, it's been 19 carries for 37 yards after that last run by Garrison Hurst as Harvey is stacked up, and I don't think he got the first down on 2nd and 1. Kevin Carter and Ed Robinson, 41. Oh, the Heisman Trophy race. It gets a lot of play this time of year, and you start comparing folks, and Garrison Hurst comes into this game, and would you give him the #1 nod right now, Dick?
Oh, I would.
Yeah.
I've seen him enough. I haven't seen Marshall Faulk, so I'm not being fair to him. I've seen O.J. McDuffie, and I would put him in the #2 position. I've seen Tyrone Wheatley, a fine player. But Garrison Hurst, in my opinion, is the #1 candidate.
Falk, 18 carries, 60 yards today in that San Diego State win. On 3rd and 1, Georgia's missed on their last 4 attempts. They're not going to miss this time as Harvey, still pounding, fumbles the football. It's going to be covered by Georgia. Over there, Alec Millen, 71, the senior from Atlanta, fell on that football.
What's unique about that play is it's 3rd and short. You've got a Heisman candidate in the backfield, and they give the ball to somebody else. Tough to key on him in those situations. See, coming off, good block right there by Garrison Hurst. That's what we were talking about, a complete player. Now you've given the ball to a guy that weighs 240 pounds.
And there goes Milton falling on it. He's a transfer from North Carolina, started 7 games there as a redshirt freshman. And with less than a minute to go, third quarter, Georgia's got it 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
They're in the Bear defense right now. Tough to run on that.
Zaire. Defender fell down in a penalty marker. Defender fell down. That was Kennedy back on the coverage. The intended receiver there was Jeff Thomas, the sophomore from Valdosta, Georgia.
He might have called offensive pushing on that play. We're a long ways away from it, but that's what it looked like from here. See it at the top right-hand corner of your screen. Let's see if the offensive person shoves him a little bit with that left arm.
I think that flag might have been stuck deep in that official's pocket that time, as Ray Goff kind of pulls the hat down on the head.
Remember, that's 15 yards. And the loss of down, so it's 2nd down.
Going to be 2nd, and let's call it 25 from the 49-yard line. Split backs, and Harvey has it. He gets down to the 42. I just can't figure out why Garrison Hearst is not touching the football more.
See, when they get in that formation, the defensive linemen are shifting toward the tight end where they normally run Garrison Hearst. That's why they're running back away from that overshift. So I can understand that. I just like you, I'd like to see the ball in Garrison Hearst.
Well, and it turns out that Frank Harvey, who's playing in the place of the injured Max Strong, is getting most of the action today. 3rd down and 18. Just seconds remaining in this 3rd quarter on the play action. Eric Zaire is nailed. 61 came busting through there.
Ellis Johnson.
On the hard charge, you bet.
He's been injured. He just
Ellis Johnson. So the big sack, which is the 3rd of the day, and we'll return with more action after this message and a word from our ABC stations. As we start the 4th quarter, let's check with Julie Moran. Julie?
Well, Roger, Halloween is a day of superstitions, but the Florida players, they're superstitious every week. Here are a couple. James Bates, he's worn the same shirt under his pad since high school. Chris Bilkey sits on the same seat on the team bus every week. Tony Davis gets his hair cut before every game. Charlie Dean has a magic crystal he consults. But my favorite is number 2, Will White. He says, he told me yesterday, he wears socks every night to bed before a game, and he said...
Fumbled punt at the 20-yard line, but it is covered by Monty Duncan. Julie, he wears what socks to bed?
He wears his socks to bed before the game because he said playing in the defensive secondary is all in the feet, Julie.
Oh, okay.
And he's had a good game tonight.
Yeah, he sure has. Well, so Florida covered that punt. That's been a thing that Ray Goff has talked to us about, the special teams and the time limits in coaching this year. First and 10, the 20-yard line. Just underway, 4th quarter. Florida leads it 26-17 as the tight end Dean comes in motion on play action. Shane Matthews going up top. Trey Everett can't run under it at the 30-yard line. Al Jackson was back there on the coverage. So trying to get the big play right at the start of the 4th quarter, and Matthews showed you his arm. Steve Spurrier, who is 19-1 in games played in Florida since returning to Gainesville, the lone loss being to Florida State and Tallahassee in 1990, and his team's got a 9-point lead here. 2nd and 10. That's Jack Jackson in motion. Matthews wanted to come near side. Now he's going to have to run it. And he gets it out of bounds at the 24-yard line.
You know, even this early in the fourth quarter, the quarterback has to start thinking about clock management. And if he's going to scramble with the ball, he really doesn't want to run him out of bounds. He wants to keep the clock running as long as he can. I'm sure he'll be reminded of that in between the next series.
You know, out of bounds, Dick, on that play as Shane Matthews ran out. You know, they threw a flag earlier on a similar play. Now watch this. Is Matthews out of bounds when he's thrown down? Now he's right there. The guy takes him and pulls him down.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that.
3rd down and 6. Matthews, Rhett has it across the 30 to the 31-yard line. This guy has got great hands, came into the game averaging over 7 yards a reception, and let's take a look at the numbers as Rhett gets up limping a bit.
Again, they're still dominating in time of possession. This ball game is going to go all the way back as if it remains like this with that blocked punt in the first quarter. Yes, Florida's got 254 yards passing, 350 yards of total offense, but that's going to be the critical play.
You see Rhett, he's got that left ankle, he's got a brace on it, and it appears as though he turned it again. His biggest game was the opener against Kentucky, 33 carries, 193 yards. He's been playing his guts out today as they try to draw it up the middle to Malone. Ball was loose. Georgia's got it. Boy, after Rhett was hurt, Malone came in, and Barnum comes up with a fumble recovery.
That happens so many times. You come off the bench cold. You know, you're not used to handling the football. You come in, you haven't been playing much all year because you've been injured. You give him the football, and he coughs it up. It's an easy handoff. It's a draw play. He gets up inside, and the ball is stripped from his possession.
Barnum hit him, and then he recovered the fumble. They give it to Harvey. He tries to get outside. Penalty markers down. Beautiful tackle. Coming up out of the secondary for the University of Florida was Del Spear, the senior corner out of Sarasota.
Al Ford, the referee, threw that flag, probably holding on the offense. But boy, it was a late flag. Very, very late flag.
Those officials must have deep pockets, Dick. That's all I can think of.
Maybe couldn't reach it, but if the ball was 50 yards or 20 yards outside him before he called that.
10 yards, still first down.
Ray Goff is asking who. Well, that'll move it back to the 40-yard line, just inside the 40. First and 20. Zier tripped up, throws it intercepted. Intercepted near side by Ben Hanks, number 11, the bandit back, the freshman. And the pressure by Bill Gunner that time, and Eric Zier tried to make something happen rather than eat the football. .22 left to go here at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville. Along with Dick Vermeil and Julie Moran, I'm Roger Twibell. 26-17. And Zier, the Georgia quarterback, Dick, forcing this one.
He's under pressure. He starts to scramble. He gets outside, and he makes a dumb mistake. He throws a shuffle pass right to Hanks, right in there. You know, second down situation. Take the sack, throw it out of bounds. Don't do that.
I've seen place kickers throw better passes than that. So after the turnover, Georgia got the good field position on the fumble by Malone, and then the penalty knocked them back. And then on the very next play, Zier turns it over. A little giveaway takeaway here. Woo. First and 10 from the 40. That's Tony Davis. And Davis across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Once again, Eric Rhett, who has been hobbled most of the year by a bad ankle, but has played a strong game today, just went out a few moments ago, limping.
Well, Tony Davis is a true freshman, too.
Let's check with Julie Moran. Julie?
Well, Roger, I just talked to Dr. Indeligado for Florida. Eric Rhett has sprained his left ankle once again. He wants to go back in the game, but at this point, it's just wait and see.
And Dick, you know that's the toughest injury to overcome.
Oh, yeah, and you know, it was really sound. It felt great on the practice field. On Thursday, as we talked to him, he was playing so well in this ball game. But once you tweak that thing again, boy, it's tough to play.
Shane Matthews wants a timeout. Matthews wants a timeout with 12:41 in CFA college football. This ABC Sports exclusive is brought to you by the Honda Accord, celebrating its 10th anniversary of production in the United States. Eric Rett, number 33, the junior, from Pembroke Pines, Florida, who is the defending, if you will, Southeastern Conference rushing champion, but has been injured all year after that great opening game against Kentucky. He struggled and struggled as Shane Matthews, who has now moved to second on the Florida career completion list with 605, went past his coach John Reeves, who now coaches the tight ends, as Steve Spurrier, who has handled this Georgia outfit the last 2 years, and you see his record at 23-6. And there's no secret that there's a bit of bad blood between these two guys, even though neither will come right out and say it, as you see the Goff coaching record at Georgia.
You know, there's no substitute for that pro football experience that Spurrier got, both as a player and a coach, when it comes to the passing attack.
2nd and 4 from the 46-yard line. Matthews will just swing it to his tight end. Not much there as Greg Keller leans forward in a terrific second effort. He made something out of nothing, and he got him the first down.
Well, he's big enough there at 240 pounds. Again, a tight end in that formation. He's normally in there as a blocker. This time he blocked down and then released late, just thinking in terms of first down.
Keller, the junior from New Orleans, came into the game with just 8 receptions on the year. But a terrific effort there, and the first down at the 49-yard line. Davis has it. Right side, and Davis will pound for about 5. Jim Watson, the junior, right guard, 73, and he is the only returning member from a year ago of that offensive line. And Jason Odom, the freshman from Bartow, led the blocking surge on that side.
Can you imagine having 2 freshmen tackled in your offensive line? True freshmen, one 6'7", 303, and the other 6'6", 290. I'd like to be the line coach.
Well, Reggie Green, number 74, the left tackle, he's the first true freshman to start on the Gator offensive line since Lomas Brown did it back in '81. He's now an all-pro with Detroit.
And still playing.
Yeah, and Green has played every snap this year. 2nd and 6, they swing it out to Davis, tries to cut it back, and he loses about 3.
Real good defense that time. Greg Jackson again. I don't know how many times you've called his name, but he's been in a lot of plays.
Let's check out Miami, West Virginia. That game, the longest win streak in college football for Miami at 25. Told you what was happening with Stanford and Washington. Washington could extend that to 9 games as West Virginia and Miami getting underway. And just about an hour from now, and then Washington running away from Stanford. Billy Joe Hobart with a 50-yard touchdown run. That's 41-7. This is 3rd and 8 at the 47-yard line. Matthews on the run, incomplete. Pass intended for Jack Jackson. As we take a look at the second page of our NCAA notebook, in Texas A&M, they had to come from behind in 5 of 7 victories this year, but no problem with SMU today. And Boston College, they're off to their best start since 1942. And the scores there, 41-7 the final for A&M, and Boston College got a couple of big games on the horizon against Notre Dame and Syracuse. And we'll check on that score in just a moment. Right now it's 4. By the way, they won 45-0 against Temple. So on 4th and 8, Shane Edge will go back to punt it. His 4th punt of the day, and that's a good one. Andre Hastings inside the 15. He's in trouble. He gets to the 14-yard line. Excellent coverage by the special teams. And Charlie Dean, the tight end, was down there to make the stop. So 10:35 left to go from the Gator Bowl. And Florida leads Georgia.
Well, Georgia hasn't been able to generate any kind of offense.
And welcome back here to the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, where Florida leads Georgia 26-17 with 10:35 left to go. Zaire in the second half is 3 of 8 with an interception for just 40 yards. He threw for 118 yards in the first half. As Garrison Hurst tries the left side, and not much going right there as Carlton Miles, the senior from Daytona Beach, makes the stop.
But see, I don't think there's anything wrong with a 4.5, 5-yard gain. I don't know what they're going to end up giving him totally here, but it's darn near 5 yards.
Yeah.
That's a successful running play. They've got plenty of time. Put the ball in Garrison Hurst's hands.
You just get so used. This is a guy that's averaging over 8 yards a carry, Dick, and I think you sit here and you say, gee, he's not getting a lot.
Yeah.
2nd and 6. Harvey off the right side. He's across the 30 to the 32-yard line. Frank Harvey, playing in the place of Max Strong, has done a nice job. Of course, he had the long touchdown run to start the game.
Garrison Hurst didn't carry the ball that time, but what he did do is he blocked. See the cut block right there? He knocked that linebacker, Miles, right down to the ground, allowed that play to be successful.
1st and 10, 31-yard line.
Coming after him.
Hurst can't quite get by him. He gets to the 35, a gain of about 3. Will White made the tackle.
See what it is, though? He looks like he's not making any yards, but all of a sudden, hey, it's 2nd and 4, 2nd and 6. See, almost 5 yards on that. They came after him with a blitz, and he found a way to get in between it.
I mentioned Hurst averaging over 8 yards a carry. Davis averages over 7. Max Strong, not playing tonight, averages over 6 yards a carry. You're just used to these guys ripping it off in big chunks as Hurst tries the outside. Monty Groh, number 10, with a huge play. And right now, let's go to New York and John Saunders. John?
Roger, Nebraska is rolling over Colorado. Tommy Frazier here starts one way, back the other, and then the strike to Gerald Armstrong, 5 yards. 31-7. Colorado's about to pick up its first loss. Roger.
Well, thank you very much, John. And they haven't lost in the Big 8 in an awful long time. As we've got a 3rd and 7 here. Georgia 2 of 10 in 3rd down situations from the 34-yard line this time. Play action by Zaire. Pressure. Completed to Harvey. But not enough for the first down as 61 came busting through there again. Ellis Johnson.
He is fresh. He hasn't been playing. He had a neck injury, and he wasn't able to play for a while. He's back and healthy. Played a little bit last week. You'll see him coming right here. Number 61. See him coming a little stunt right up inside. Here he comes. Good acceleration to the quarterback. Puts the heat on him, puts him down.
And that pass possibly could have been picked off, but Harvey made the catch. Halloween night in Jacksonville. Slice of moon over the Gator Bowl. 8:24 left to go. Scott Armstrong with his 8th punt. And that's a low line drive kick, and Monty Duncan's calling for the fair catch as he backpedals to the 21-yard line.
He should have never called for a fair catch on that. A low line drive like that, that's a return ball.
Well, tomorrow on ABC Sports, beginning live at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific, world-class road racers and 25,000 runners will go through the streets of New York for the New York City Marathon. Then at 3 Eastern, 2 Pacific, Jack Nicklaus will showcase America's toughest 18 holes presented by Nationwide Insurance, followed by the final round of golf's richest event, the Tour Championship, where Paul Azinger leads. That's all tomorrow on ABC Sports. 26-17, Florida. Looking to make it 3 years in a row over Georgia. 1st and 10, 22-yard line, up the middle.
Eric Rhett is back in the game.
Is back in the game, and Casey Barnum met him after a gain of about 4. So this among a number of games in the Southeastern Conference. Auburn and Arkansas have played to a 24 tie. They honored Bo Jackson today, retired his number at Auburn in that game. First ever regular season meeting between the two teams. Then South Carolina pulling the upset, winning their 3rd in a row as they beat Tennessee. 2nd down and 7. Matthews with that quick pitch back to Rhett. Penalty marker is down as Rhett is driven out. No gain at the 25-yard line, but a penalty marker down on the other side of the field as Carlo Butler and Damon Ward were over there on the tackle.
Well, the umpire, Nate Anderson, threw the flag right now. Normally that's offensive holding. Let's see what they've called.
Holding against the offense. Decline. Third down.
So they've declined that penalty. Well, college football next Saturday on ABC Sports. Washington and Arizona, Alabama and LSU, Texas A&M and Louisville, San Diego State and Wyoming, and Wisconsin and Michigan State. That's coming up for you next Saturday. Regional action here on ABC. So third down and 7. Matthews on the run. Got his receiver over there, Harrison Houston. We have not called his name much today, and they've got the first down, and now they'll be wondering, should we have taken the penalty?
Yeah, well, I would have. That doesn't make me right. But, you know, actually, Harrison Houston was open all the way on that pattern, and Matthews sort of scrambled out of there and didn't have to, and still threw the strike.
25 of 41 for 278 yards for Shane Matthews. First and 10 from the 40, 7-10 left to go with the Gators leading by 9. Brett off the left side, gain of about 2. Travis Jones 51 and Greg Jackson 54 over there on the stop.
They've got to get in there and take this ball away. Now there's 6 minutes and 45 seconds. Down by 9. They've got to get in and take that ball away from you. Got to maybe just be a little more aggressive now. You don't like to blitz because you're not a great man coverage team, but you're going to have to take some chances right now.
Second down and 7 for Shane Matthews as Bilkey's checked in at fullback. Matthews, so many career marks, 27 Florida, 6 Southeastern Conference career records. Brett with a good block. Brett across the 45 to the 48-yard line. Torrey Evans and Chris Wilson on the tackle.
Real good block that time by Chris Bilkey, number 39, the fullback. Also a good block by the tight end, Keller, at the top of your screen. See Bilkey now 39. Now watch it. Whoa, right there. Freeze it right there. See, that's a real nice shot. Good job. You can't even see the linebacker. It opens up that lane for the cutback. Good job by Bilkey.
We'll look at Bilkey, sophomore from Holmes Beach, 6'2", 230. Third down and 2. And Matthews wants a timeout, so that's now the second timeout that Shane Matthews has used. And with 5:36 left to go in this game, Florida leads it by 9. Well, they'll be testing some new waters in the Southeastern Conference this year with their playoff format. The 2 divisions, you see the teams in the East, Tennessee, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Vanderbilt, and Kentucky. And then in the West, Alabama, Ole Miss, Arkansas, Mississippi State, Auburn, and LSU. Championship game December 5th on ABC Sports. That will be played in Birmingham on the artificial stuff. Right now, we've got a third down and 2 at the 48-yard line for Florida. They have just 1 timeout remaining. And it looks like after the timeout, he's checking off at the line of scrimmage. Brett didn't get it. Randall Godfrey, the freshman who now has made 14 tackles today, was the guy right there.
Brett, they've gone for every 4th down close situation in the ball game. Right now, though, they'd be better off punting it.
And Steve Spurrier, he might be a gambler, but he's no fool. He's going to punt it.
Well, he didn't make the last one, if you remember.
Well, yeah, but he's made 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Look at Eric Brett. Yeah, he's still bothered by that ankle.
Tough guy.
Yeah, he's a good football player. As Edge will come in now to punt. Ball's at the 49-yard line. 5:02 left to go. And back deep is Andre Hastings, who has a long punt return of 39 yards this year, averaging just under 10 yards a return. And they're going to let the clock run down here. Well, the clock is stopped at 4:58. There's a little confusion. The officials now are. Now the officials coming over to Steve Spurrier.
know.
Well, everybody's pointing, kind of trying to figure out what's going on.
Seeing Ray Goff held his punt return team from going onto the field until it was clarified. He left his defense on the field until it was,
what was
totally clear. I don't know.
That's what we're trying to figure out. What have they cleared up?
You know, half of analyzation up here is speculation.
That's
you know that.
exactly right. Now the clock has started again. And Shane Edge at the 35-yard line. Nice punt. Hastings on the run at the 18.
Get out of bounds.
Nice coverage right there by the Florida special teams. And the man that came down was Lex Smith, number 54, a former Florida starting quarterback.
Yeah. He actually threw some passes in ball games, right?
He actually started a game against New Mexico, won the ball game, and actually played quarterback against Georgia in this very stadium.
He's a defensive lineman now.
Yeah, he is now. He leads the special teams, Dick, with 8 tackles, and that makes it 9 right there. By the way, he led the Gators to a 27-21 win as a quarterback over New Mexico. 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line. 4:36 left to go. Out of the shotgun. Zaire down the middle. Hastings breaks a tackle. To the 47-yard line where Larry Kennedy finally makes a stop. 25 yards on the completion.
Great job of getting the ball. He's in the slot there in the bottom of your screen. Now he's going to run a square in there. Good tight coverage on him, but he just ricochets off that tackle. They don't wrap the arms on him. He's going to keep the ball moving.
That was Will White, number 2, who missed that tackle. 1st and 10 from the 47-yard line. Zaire escapes one man, throws it to Hurst. He's got the sideline open. And Hurst inside the 25 to the 24-yard line, where Ben Hanks makes a stop.
Does that make sense? Get the ball in the hands of the skilled people that can win for you. Andre Hastings, he's the leading receiver in the history of Georgia catching touchdown passes. And here we're talking about the Heisman Trophy winner. Get the ball in their hands. They're the only people that can win for you. They do that, they'll advance the ball.
4:14 left to go. Out of the shotgun once again. 1st and 10 from just inside the 25. Zaire looking to the far corner. Touchdown, Bohannon. On the touchdown pass.
You see there, there's slot formation there. They're going to go man-to-man coverage. You see, oh no, they release him and go zone. They go zone on him. This man in the slot stopped the safety from rotating over there. He gets the touchdown.
Got the foot down. Peterson's point after is good. And with 4:05 to go, Florida's lead is now just 2. What a catch by Bohannon. Zaire 3 of 3, 78 yards and a touchdown pass on that drive. Junior Brian Bohannon, Dick, did he get those feet down?
Well, it looked like it. You know, from where I first saw it, I didn't think so. But you'll see on this replay, there he is at the bottom of your screen, reaching high. See, he goes up, makes a nice catch. Now, see that foot right there? Definitely inbounds. Touchdown all the way. Great throw and a super catch by Brian Bohannon. Take another look at it. You'll see what I'm talking about. He gets way up in there. Nice hands. Clutches the ball. Brings it down. Gets that foot down before he goes out. And look at the official. Is he eyeballing that right in position? Good officiating. Here's another one.
That left toe right there. And then he gets his left knee down, too. So he actually got down on it twice.
Yep.
Brian Bohannon, 2nd touchdown reception of the year. Just moved into the starting lineup a few weeks ago. What a great catch. And with 4:05 left to go, Florida with the 2-point lead. And Todd Peterson to kick it off. Strong line drive kick through the end zone. And Florida now will get it 1st and 10 at the 20. And we'll see what the senior Shane Matthews can put together here and see if he can work this clock.
Well, the big thing they want to do is manage the clock, eat up some time, control the ball, still thinking in terms of scoring, but eat up some time. They've got the lead. You can bet they've been well schooled in clock management.
Matthews 25 of 41, 278 yards and 2 touchdowns. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. They try that little shovel pitch right there, and nothing doing is great. Jackson was right on top of it.
See, Jackson had a stunt, and Reggie Green, the offensive tackle, set back, and that stunt slant move underneath, he couldn't catch him. You'll see what I mean. Now, here's Jackson right here. He'll take the inside slant. You see big Reggie Green set back. See him take that inside gap right there. He runs right into it.
Let's go to Julie Moran. Julie?
Roger, this is one of the biggest games for freshman Reggie Green. On the last series of downs where he came out of the game, he had a nervous stomach. He got a little upset on the sidelines, but he's back in. Big game for true freshman Reggie Green.
He's 6'7", 301 pounds. He's got a lot of stomach to get nervous, I can tell you.
I'll tell you, he's the best young offensive freshman tackle that I think I've ever seen.
Is that right?
I've never seen a guy so agile and so big at that age. Look at the hips on this guy. My gosh, look at here. What's he? 42-inch waist, maybe?
Oh, no. You got to go about 44 on that.
44?
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Let's have the debate after the game.
Well, 3:32 left to go. And before Matthews could call the play, the official stepped in.
3:42 on the clock. 3:42.
Well, the clock, we've had a little bit of trouble with the scoreboard here, some discrepancies, and they're going to run it back to 3:42. It got down to 3:32.
You know, Al Ford and his officiating crew have done a nice job today. You know, in the last few weeks, I've experienced some shabby officiating. This has been a good officiated ball game.
Loss of 5 on that play. I'll tell you, Rhett did a good job to hold on to the football.
You're darn right.
On that last play. So it's 2nd down and 15. And look at Florida's. They've been outscored 52-35 in the 4th quarter so far this season. Now, Rhett's the lone setback. Florida has just 1 timeout remaining. Matthews has got his receiver there, Willie Jackson. He's been his go-to guy today as he gets to the 29-yard line.
Real good job. Shane Matthews signaled to those 2 people when he saw the coverage in his pre-snap look exactly what he wanted him to do. I'm sure he used hand signals to tell him.
That's going to bring up a 3rd down situation in just about a yard. So crucial 3rd down situation. The clock now under 3 minutes. Matthews got it. 1st down, Florida.
See, they're eating up the clock. The clock's moving.
Georgia with 2 timeouts remaining. Now, a smart senior quarterback, Dick, will use that clock. He'll let it run down as far as he possibly can before calling the play.
Just watching that 30-second clock down in the end zone.
First and 10, 32-yard line. Matthews to hand it off to Rhett. And Rhett will just dive forward, gains a couple on the play. Carlo Butler, 28, was over there. And a timeout called by Georgia, so they've got now one left with 2:21 to go. Washington has beaten Stanford, a very impressive victory, and really showcases that battle next week between Arizona and Washington in the Pac-10. Arizona playing a non-conference game against New Mexico State tonight.
Well, I've seen Washington play twice in person, and they are an outstanding football team. Maybe not what they were last year when they shared the co-national championship, but they aren't far away from it.
Situation is this: 2nd and 8 for Florida. Georgia has 1 timeout remaining. 2:21 left to go. Steve Spurrier talking to his quarterback, and want to remind you, next Saturday we mentioned that Arizona-Washington game for some of you viewers. Alabama and LSU. Bama with the week off. LSU playing tonight. A&M against Louisville. And Louisville should give A&M a struggle. Louisville's a pretty good ball club.
They're much better than their record. I watched them on tape last week against Florida, and they're a pretty good football team.
San Diego State and Wyoming out of the WAC, and Wisconsin and Michigan State in the Big Ten. Now, defensively.
Well,
a lot of strategy here in the last couple minutes.
Right now, you've got to lock on, Roger, and you've got to prevent the short passes from being complete. So you've got to come up with your front coverage, rush your four, cover with a 5 underneath, play 3 deep, and you've got to lock onto those guys and not let them complete the short ones.
Randolph in at fullback on 2nd and 8. Matthews wants to throw it. Going way downfield, just past the outstretched hands of 84 Harrison Houston. Greg Trimble, the free safety on the coverage.
Both underneath backs checked out of the backfield, wide open to check them to. Boy, I believe in gambling once in a while, but I don't believe in gambling in that situation. Keep the ball, control the clock, move, and make first downs.
Now you've got a 3rd down and 8 with 2:12 left to go. Boy, just off his hands, huh?
Oh, yes.
They have a lot of confidence, Dick, in their passing game.
Oh,
I mean, they wouldn't do it if they didn't.
I know it, but they had gimme first down there. They had a gimme first down.
That also stopped the clock, as Dick mentioned. 2:12 left to go. Georgia with 1 timeout remaining.
They're going to blitz.
They're showing it, aren't they?
Yeah, they're coming after him.
Penalty marker's down. Penalty marker is down.
I think they ran out of time.
Yeah.
Dead ball foul, I think.
Before the ball was snapped. Delay of the game.
Yeah.
5 yards, still 3rd.
So that's going to make it a 3rd and 13 with 2:07 to go.
You still have to now take a chance with your underneath coverage and play a man underneath and zone it deep. I believe you do that. Otherwise, these guys are too skilled, especially now in this no-back attack. The 2 tight ends in this formation have been very effective.
3rd down and 13. Matthews has to get out of the pocket. On the runs, got an open receiver downfield. It's going to be very close. Let's see where they put the spot. It's going to be very close.
I got it all the way.
Harrison Houston. Harrison Houston made the reception, and it looks like a favorable spot for the University of Florida.
You'll see big Reggie Green, the offensive left tackle right here, got beat to the on the pass rush. I thought he reached out and grabbed the guy and tried to hold him right here. Actually, he did, but he didn't get any jersey. Fortunate for the
That's a great throw on the run, and now Shane Matthews holds the Gator record for career completions with 611, moving past Wayne Peace. So another record in the books for Shane Matthews. That was a first down. 1:41 left to go. Rhett right up the middle. And now Georgia's going to burn their last timeout.
They got him.
There is what Shane Matthews has done today. 28 of 45 for 301 yards. And folks, what he has done against the University of Georgia in 3 years borders on the sensational, because he has not, to this point with 1:29 left to go, he has not thrown an interception in these 3 games. 76 of 116 for 948 yards and 9 touchdowns. That's 66% completion ratio on his passes.
That ain't too shabby.
No, it's not. I'm surprised, Dick, I really am, that they didn't measure that pass to Houston. I think Ray Goff is arguing about the spot there, because they got a real favorable spot.
I'm surprised they weren't locked on people, man to man, and make them throw. See, they were really loose in their coverage. You've heard me say so many times, Roger, that college pass defenses more often than not, count on the quarterback throwing it incomplete. They don't knock down many balls. And when you play against a quarterback like Shane Matthews, you've got to knock some balls down or he's going to beat you.
Let's take a look now. Makes the catch, stuck right there and driven back.
Oh, yeah.
And the official was right on it. .129 left to go. 26-24.
Quarterback draw.
And Matthews is going to run with it. And inside the 45 to the 43.
Now that's a great call because there's no risk to it. The only exchange is the quarterback and center exchange, see? And they don't do this very often. They've got them spread all over the field. They open them up. I've been looking for them to run that down inside the 10-yard line. They didn't do it. They saved it to this time. They get the lead blocked by the running backs through there. Here he is making the first down. Big, big first down with a minute 12 to go.
Clock running now. First down, Georgia with no timeouts left.
They can run the clock out. They can clock it out.
26-24. You just have to take care of the football.
Again, it goes all the way back.
Will go right down. Steve Spurrier, with this victory, is becoming the first Florida coach to ever sweep Auburn, Georgia, and Florida State in 2 successive seasons. And the University of Florida now, with this victory today, will move to 5-2 overall and 4-2 in the SEC. They play Southern Miss next week, and then they get South Carolina at Vanderbilt and at Florida State to finish things up. Meanwhile, Georgia has an off week. Then they're at Auburn and another off week before they play Georgia Tech with 22 seconds and counting. And the players start to come out in the field. Shane Matthews, what a terrific job he did today. And this young, improving Florida team really came up strong as they shut down the Heisman Trophy leading candidate, Garrison Hurst.
I'll tell you, you get a punt block, you normally lose a football game, and that's what happened today. That's the difference in this ball game.
Well, the Chevrolet most valuable players of the game are Randall Gottfried from the University of Georgia, 13 tackles on the afternoon, and Shane Matthews from Florida with a couple of touchdown passes and over 300 yards. Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund. For Dick Vermeil, I'm Roger Twibble. Thanks for being with us. It's been a great party here in Jacksonville. Florida wins it for the 3rd year in a row, 26-24.